eyes. I have to ask myself that on a daily basis. What's the difference between our eyes and their eyes? For example, I'm actually going to give Trump supporters some credit. I'm going to give them some credit, okay? But the phone line is open. I think, yep, it should be working. We had some issues yesterday, and you may request up in the box if you regret your vote or do not. But I wanted to understand the argument surrounding regulation, because I'm not sure if you guys have noticed, we've gotten a lot more Trump supporters arguing against regulations as of late. And it makes no sense to me because they're completely ignoring how it came about to where we have the regulations that we do and everything else. But I realized something when it comes to the regulation conversation. Sometimes Trump supporters actually have a good argument surrounding regulations. They just can't articulate it. Sometimes they have a good argument. They just can't articulate it. And they damn sure can't provide evidence for their claims. But we'll get back to that in a second. Savvy, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
And do you regret your vote?
I do.
Why is that?
He didn't do anything he promised, which I should have known. But it's far deeper than that. It's to the point where I can't believe anyone doesn't regret their vote, honestly.
What made you vote for Trump?
Oh my goodness. I think it was kind of an indoctrination that turned into a cult. It started small. It was like, oh, this guy, he's not a politician.
Thank you, Erica, for Stingray.
He's not a politician. He's self-funded. Little did we know he was funded by Mario Madelson, among others. He just says it like it is. He's a boss, and you're not supposed to like your boss. He's just a good businessman. And I think for a long time, I blamed everyone except for Trump for the way our society was kind of crumbling and becoming so combative. Mm-hmm. But it was policies. It was his, tax cut ideas. I thought like, oh, this is cool. And it just, that no new wars, that sort of thing. That this was all very appealing to me. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I'm sorry. That was a clean gift. W's Jordan. W's in the chat to Jordan. W's in the chat to Jordan for that gift. I appreciate you. Big W's to him. Big W's to him. Yes. How we summarize it over on our side of the aisle is basically those like 3 to 5 word headlines, right? Those catchphrases that easily grab people's attention, right? Low taxes. Obviously, everyone can get down with that. We think we're paying too much in taxes, when I would argue more so the argument is to some degrees, yes, but it's not going to the right places. No new wars. We can all agree on that. Most people do not support war, not actually, when they realize the impact, so on and so forth. Trump got a lot of people off of those little clips and quips, I should say. But ultimately, when it comes to the actual practicality and rhetoric, it's funny how much of that he's walked back in 2 seconds and defends it even, as bringing down inflation, now saying he really doesn't care about that, housing affordability, then calling it a yawn, no new wars, and then saying, well, I said no long wars. And it's like, no, you said no new wars. You criticize regime change. And now I think as recently as yesterday, he was on Fox News when he was asked about how we're supposed to change the makeup of the war in Iran without putting troops on the ground. Do you think you can do it with air forces? And he's like, yeah, and maybe. And it's like, no. But yeah, sure. I think all of those reasons are valid. I guess my question to you now would be, what are you planning to do about it in the midterms with the general elections come November?
Well, I mean, you have to understand the shock that I'm still under to an extent, because I believed that you guys would one day wake up and understand that I'm right. And like, so that's, but also I am going to blame a little bit on the algorithm. I think that the far right was pinned against the far left, and that's all that the algorithm was. And then I would snap out of it pretty often and be like, okay, no, you're making a lot of sense. Like this is obviously, we're talking about very extreme situations that do not actually happen. This is anecdotal stuff that we're arguing over. But there was still part of me that was like, they'll get it one day. One day they will understand. And it just all came crumbling down. So to answer your question, I'm not even in a position to vote in the midterms. I'm in a very red state. I'm upset at who they're going to put in, but it's basically it's basically one bad person against another bad person. So what am I to do?
So I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think for one, voting for the candidate, even if they don't have a chance in hell of winning, specifically in our two-party system, voting for the opposing candidate, it's still information they can use for the next election after election. We have information and studies that show how more progressive candidates, or just even some establishment Democrats in this specific midterm election, are getting more favor because of the actions of Trump, and people want to restore some sense of normalcy from whatever we're seeing now. And those numbers are used for the next election. Those numbers are used in, I guess I would argue, the DNC or even other organizations, so they can better advertise to that community, so they can shape their policy. So voting always matters, even in a position to where that person would not win, because ultimately that data is still going to be used to put forward a better candidate or to better shift their policies to something that appeals to you. And then I would, if you don't mind me asking, thank you, Tabby, for the gift. What state are you in?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay, so everything you're saying though is true, and like so I do get I do.
You're kind of cooked. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing. When they're talking, they're literally the first thing out of their mouths is something along the lines of, "I'm a MAGA Republican," or "I've got Donald Trump's back." They start it with that, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
That's the point. If they
What are we
open up with being
doing?
a quote unquote MAGA Republican, then they're the complete opposite of everything that you want.
Yeah.
So don't vote for that guy. It's as simple as that. Vote for the person who's talking about tax reform. Vote for the person who's talking about restoring healthcare, expanding healthcare because it's so unaffordable. Vote for the person who wants to reduce the cost of housing, bring back your grocery prices, make gas reasonable again, while also exploring renewable energy, because we're in an energy crisis, especially with the AI data centers. And now we're seeing some of these corporations go, well, maybe the libs are onto something with renewable energy. So it's just super interesting how that works, especially in places like Texas, where 30% of our power comes from wind. But on that note, I think I would just advise you to look at the opposing candidates. Look at what your actual values are. If you value honesty, you value truth, you value lower costs, you value no warmongering, the person who's advocating for that and it doesn't identify as a MAGA or Democratic shill, probably vote for that person. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you coming up, and thank you for telling your story.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Ah, didn't expect to start off the show like that. Yay, we started off with a regret. What? But yeah, voting always matters. I'm sorry. Voting absolutely always matters. You may not know where to start now, but today's the best day to start researching. I did this on Ari's Live last night. We had a kid come up and say he was in Texas. He was looking at James Tallarico and Ken Paxton. And he said, yeah, so I actually took your advice last time we spoke and I decided to look into the candidates. And I didn't find anything. 4 clicks. Went to James Tallarico's website, clicked the issues tab, and saw everything he was about. 4 freaking clicks to find it. I kind of got on his ass about that. You will find what you want to know, and you're going to vote accordingly afterwards. Arena, did you vote for Trump?
I did not. I am not a citizen, so I cannot vote. But I just wanted to say something to Savvy. Do you take only one guest at a time?
I do, and I typically try to talk to Trump supporters, not only Trump supporters,
Okay,
but those
yes.
within the United States
Yes.
or non-voters. But I do appreciate you coming up. Put it in the comments, please. Put in the comments, please. I do have a show to run. I appreciate you. I know everyone wants to say something, and it may even be of value, but I do have a show to run. I appreciate you, though. W's in the chat to Jordan for the $10 Venmo. You're not allowed to wear this light purple color. My future wife is on this app. Shut the fuck up, Jordan. Shut the fuck up, Jordan. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Jordan. I appreciate your support. Guys, the best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the tube side, you can send a super chat or a super sticker. Make sure you continue to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. Send your daily heartbeats if you have not already. Share out the live with your friends and family as well. Repost, add to your story. Knock out these one set of gift codes. I don't know why it takes us so long to knock these out. I typically set 3 to get the live started, and then we move on to the bigger ones. So just knock those out really quickly. The little chili peppers there. And those of you on the YouTube side, welcome in YouTube. Thank you for being here. Hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, and turn on notification bells. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets your vote, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and express all the things that made you get up off the MAGA plantation. So request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. Or if you're a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, we'll talk to you as well. And I'll give you several reasons as to why you should. You may call the number on screen on YouTube, 737-295-5321. Back to my original point that I was trying to make here concerning Trump supporters. They do have points. Sometimes they mean to make good points. They just don't know how to articulate. There's a genuine conversation that can be had about burdensome regulation. 6,000%. There absolutely could be a regulation that was put forward in good faith and for good reasons, but ultimately it's ineffective to actually knocking out or helping addressing its stated goal, or it's just unnecessarily like burdensome. We can have a conversation about that. But then I ask one question every single time. What is that regulation? Can you cite the regulation that you find to be unnecessary, burdensome, and costly? And they never can give it to me. I was looking over the EPA changes that the Trump administration initiated early this morning, and one of them I thought was super duper fascinating. In 2011 and 2012, we saw it's called MATS, and that was to reduce the amount of mercury and several other substances that's released into the air from oil refineries, and they were regulated to watch how much they were emitting into the air and then reduce it. We saw an 80-something% reduction between 2011 and 2017. I don't think I need to explain to anyone in here the negative impacts of mercury in your body. Typically, most of us get it through seafood consumption because of the water, but then because of those emissions going down, that contributed to less mercury being in the water and less being in the air, which overall makes you safer. The Trump administration came in, and they was like, it's not that big of a deal. Now, this is a rare compliment I'm going to give the Trump administration. Rare compliment I'm going to give the Trump administration. There was additional ones that were instituted via executive order in 2024 by Joe Biden. Dollar General Dean Withers. I guess you're blind because I don't look like him, and I definitely don't sound like a 18-year-old boy. With that being said, there are additional regulations that he put forward in July of 2024. Not July. It was sometime in 2024. And then the reviews came forward with the new EPA head, and I forgot his name for the life of me. And you know what he did? He just brought it right back to the 2012 regulations. The additional ones he said was unnecessary just because they did not cite the financial cost of some of the additional regulations. That's the only reason they repealed it, which is stupid in and of itself. However, they understood the significance and complemented the significance of the 2012 regulations that was put forward by Obama's EPA, and then kept it. So I thought that was super duper fascinating that they have this rhetoric around regulations, that Donald Trump signed the executive order that said for every one regulation, you have to get rid of 10. And it seems like there's certain regulation that they themselves couldn't even justify getting rid of. I think that says a lot. I think that says a lot about the significance of regulation, specifically when it comes to our air pollution, when it comes to our food. What happened after Pete Hegseth stopped mandating vaccinations, flu outbreak? There's also the name of that other disease. Eric and I were just talking about it yesterday on the Fun and Fact Show. I'm not going to remember the name for the life of me. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Subu. Thank you all for the gifts. The one that is predominantly spread on lettuce and salad mixes and gives you the shits. What was the name of that one again? What was the name of that? Hold on. What was the name of that one? Let me get the name for y'all. Cyclospora or cyclosporiasis, I believe. Yeah, that one. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, and call the number on screen, 737. Why is everyone running? I tried to let up 3 different people within the last 2 minutes, and they all just ran in 2 seconds. I feel like I've been nice so far. But yeah, watch your lettuce. They're recommending with your, obviously wash your vegetables. If you guys are not washing your vegetables, what the fuck are you doing? Even the packages that say it's triple washed already, wash that shit again. And then get your fruit washes. I'm about to go get my fruit wash. Some people put a little vinegar in their water to do it. So I'm going to start doing that. And I hate vinegar. I hate the smell of vinegar. It's gross. And they say with your hard vegetables, you can wash that with a little soapy water. I'm not doing that, but you could. I don't know how I feel about that though, personally. Parasite, yes, that's the name. Got you. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate you. W's to you. Leafy lettuce super easy to grow. Yeah. You can. I mean, obviously, you can always grow your own, but I mean, you still have to wait months for that, and we're gonna have to get our lettuce somewhere. I personally was not gonna advertise or advocate for you guys just not to eat your leafy greens, so just wash the hell out of them. I hate veggies. You have a problem. I'm sorry. What? Who just hates? It's one thing to say I don't like a certain amount of veggies. Like hating veggies is crazy. I hope you're in tip-top health. If you're hating veggies, I hope you are in tip-top health. I love my veggies, bro. Except for squash. Squash is gross. Squash is absolutely gross. Cupcakes would never. This is the problem. This is why we aren't healthy. This is why y'all got these nut jobs like RFK trying to ban shit. Anyways, let's move on to this next guest. Marco, did you vote for Trump? Is this the best that's left of the Trump base? Is that all that's left? I mean, yeah, to be fair, Chaos, I need to stop asking stupid questions. That's my fault. I need to stop asking stupid questions. Because one would argue, yeah. You know what else I want to talk about? Let's talk about Epstein. Let's talk about the fact that in Todd Blanche's confirmation hearing today, he went and said out of his mouth that, there's legal reasons and my lawyers advise as to why I can't meet directly with Epstein victims. Survivors. Right? That's what he cited. He said there's legal reasons why I can't go meet with them directly. And then, you know what he did after that? Well, I don't know if he did it just yet. Let me double check this. But I know he said, and he was planned to go meet with the victims afterwards. Isn't that crazy? He literally said in the hearing, yeah, there's reasons I can't meet them. And then afterwards, okay, I guess we'll go meet them. So let me go see if he met them yet. Todd Blanche meet. It's 2 meets. This was it's supposed to be this afternoon. I'm not getting any information that he met with them yet. However, he's supposed to. So we should expect this to happen, obviously, long before Donald Trump's speech tonight. We're going to get into that in a second. Donald Trump's speech tonight? Yeah. What reasons? He just said legal reasons. Like he legally could not meet with them. And then afterwards, yep, I can meet with them. Where'd all those legal reasons go? Sounds like there was yet another cover-up to deny justice for Epstein survivors. Sounds like another excuse being made to keep your pretty little president, I don't know why I said pretty, that man is ugly as fuck, your ugly little president away from getting implicated even further. That's the real reason. You got to ask yourself, why would people fight so hard to do the bare minimum investigations into some of the people alleged into the direct leads that they've gotten into? We went over one in New Mexico yesterday. Why would someone stop the investigations? Donald Trump is known to obstruct justice by obstructing investigations, by the way. See the Mueller report. Wayne, did you vote for Trump?
I did. Yeah, I did.
How old are you?
18.
I don't believe you. Year of birth. That's what I thought. Y'all, I'm so tired of Republicans talking about protecting their kids, and then y'all's kids are gallivanting around this app in spaces they don't belong. You want to talk about protecting kids? Start with your own. Have y'all ever heard of those apps you can download to your kid's phone and it blocks them from adult content? What's up, Jay? Have y'all ever heard of those apps? Y'all may want to start looking into what your kids are doing. Yeah, he said 18. If Republicans want to start protecting their kids, start protecting children, start with your own. Do you know where your kid's at 4:38 p.m. Central Time? Do you know where your child is at? Do you know where your child is at? So now let's talk about Donald Trump's address to the nation tonight. And that's going to be roughly, thank you guys for tapping. Continue to double tap the screen. Let's get the likes up to 50K and beyond. It's supposed to be at, and I think I got the time right, but I just want to double check it. It's supposed to be 10 p.m. CST. It's 9 or 10 p.m. CST tonight. So EST, it should be 8. And y'all do the rest with your own time zones, bro. I'm not the best at time zones. Do your own homework with the time zones. Anyways, he's expected tonight to talk about something specifically that he has not been able to shut the flip up about since 2020. And that is going to be election mishaps. And that's the only time I'm going to say that word specifically alongside the other word afterwards. We're now going to change that word to festival. For the remainder of this live, festival is what I have to change it to because this TikTok is sensitive. He is expected to talk about festival fraud. 2020 festival fraud specifically. So that's according to Caroline Levitt. Caroline Levitt said, wait and see. The president has something in store for y'all tonight. He's going to talk about it overall because he's trying to boost his numbers or the ability to pass the SAVE Act in Congress, which is not going to freaking happen. However, he's going to try to make some argument about it. And I'm very curious to hear what this evidence is. The same evidence he hasn't been able to present to us for about 6 years. The same evidence that Kash Patel back in April said he was going to report by the end of the week. April 20th, we were supposed to get it by the end of the week. It is now July. That evidence. We're finally going to get it tonight. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see him substantiate that his back wasn't blown out by almost 8 million votes in 2020. I can't freaking wait for it. I hope he falls on stage. I do not advocate for violence. I don't think you have to hope that he'll fall. He probably has already. I know y'all seen him stumble. Bro stumbled upstairs and downstairs. It's expected from old people. Joe Biden beat him like a drum. Like a drum is diabolical. Diabolical. Live chat? What happened in live chat? Breaking news, White House teleprompter operator bet on Trump speeches? A technical assistant to President Trump won around $100,000 on Kalshi, a prediction market, which flagged the activity to federal regulators. So hold on, what was the bet about specifically? This is vague. What was the bet about? Did he bet on what he was going to say? Did he bet on what he was going to say? Because that's easy. That's easy. He says the same shit. This is one of the reasons why I stopped. Cause remember, last year I used to live stream all of Donald Trump's like press briefings and all that shit. I stopped because he says the same stuff, just new nonsense every now and then. But 80% of what he says is the same thing. I just stopped. I'm like, why am I wasting my time putting the same crap out? And then it got to the point where TikTok starts flagging you for the misinformation that Trump was saying. So I'm like, why the fuck am I going to risk my platform to listen to this fool? I need to read more about this because that's actually wild. That's easy. He's smart for making these bets because you can expect him to say the same thing again and again and again and again and again. The comic dude, did you vote for Trump? We are Charlie. Let me go ahead and look up this story really quickly. Let's see. Trump teleprompter operator bet on speeches. President Donald Trump's teleprompter operator is on unpaid leave after reports that he used his inside knowledge to make bets about the president's speeches on the online prediction market Kalshi. The firm's enforcement chief said Kalshi contacted federal regulators about bets allegedly made about what the president would say in public addresses. White House Press Secretary Caroline Levitt said the president is aware of the situation, which she described as unfortunate and a disgrace. Gabriel Perez, who has been operating Trump's teleprompter since 2016, used this inside knowledge to win more than $100,000 betting on what the president would say in big speeches, including the State of the Union address earlier this year. Okay, so here's my question. Are we surprised that one of Trump's folks are engaging in fraud and insider information? No. I just want to know what specifically he made the bets on. That's what I want to know. What specifically did he make the bets on? That's my question. If this man out here made bets on shit like no new wars, transgenderism for everyone, Sleepy Joe, what are the other things? Hillary Clinton, if he was making bets on that and he won $100,000, that really goes to show how fucking stupid Republicans are, if anything. I want to know what he betted on. That's what I want to know. Usual stuff, Obama, birther movement, which he hasn't talked about in a minute. But, oh yeah, Barack Hussein Obama. If you made bets on him saying that in a speech, what are we doing, bro? I don't know why you trolls would come back in the request as if I'm not just going to block you. Like, at least just go on your other burner and try to come back up again. Don't come back on the same account that I just dropped, because then I'm just going to block you. Now you have to go to your burner. Republican kids are stupid. All right, I want to play this clip now. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you are over on the tube side, you can call on the number on screen, 737-295-5321. It looks like Thomas Massey, once again, is that our... I'll put the clip up for you guys so you can see it. Thomas Massey, once again, is spiting the Trump administration, is spiting Republicans because he lost his primary. That's the reason. He was awfully quiet beforehand, and then all of a sudden now he wants to do these tell-alls. But anyways, now he has some words to say, specifically surrounding elections. And I want to play them here. And I think what he said is interesting. First and foremost, before anyone says it, do not say, I agree with Thomas Massey. You're not agreeing with Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey is agreeing with us. Yes, I meant festivals, but it's if I combine the other word and fraud together, that's when I have an issue. Obviously, saying elections in general kind of can flag it, but it's just more so the combination of words. But yeah, friendly reminder, Thomas Massey, we don't agree with him. He's finally agreeing with us. I'll play the clip.
But I don't think the problem, is that our elections aren't secure, because we control the House, we control the Senate, we control the White House, and in some degree we control the Supreme Court. So I asked my Republican colleagues, why are you complaining about election fraud? We won all the damn elections. The fraud that's going on is we're not holding ourselves to the promises that we made of fiscal responsibility, putting America first, making America healthy. The problem is we're wasting the opportunity that we were given in these elections, that we won, all of them. But I don't...
It's not a lib. It's not a lib saying it. It's not a Trump hater saying it, which I guess maybe we can call him a Trump hater now. But I think that's a fantastic point. Y'all own everything. We got everything. And to be clear, they do have the Supreme Court. Don't let the denials fool you. It's just that some of the things Trump is trying to pass is so fucking stupid to even the most conservative people on the Supreme Court can step up and say, no, we can't co-sign that. But yes, they have everything. Every single thing. So why is it that we keep making these BS allegations? Underworld, did you vote for Trump?
No, I'm a friendly. Give me 10 seconds. Please talk about Joe Rogan and JD Vance, please.
Oh, I
And
have that
also
clip here
thank you
too.
please. The way that he had to twist himself, wild.
Oh yeah, bro. JD Vance needs to stop speaking in public. I'm not going to lie, but I appreciate you coming up. JD Vance needs to stop speaking in public because he just keeps embarrassing himself. He keeps every interview that he does. It's just more and more reasons why I think. Because I used to initially think JD Vance was going to be the threat of 2028. I don't think it's going to be him anymore. I think it's freaking. I think it's going to be Marco Rubio. He's a goddamn clown too. But I think it's going to be Marco Rubio. Before I get into the next clip, I just want to do that real quick on where we last left off with him. Because this is the one that I have. Mind you, there's a few, because obviously Joe Rogan has a long podcast. But this is the one specifically that I wanted to talk about here. Because I thought it was fascinating. This is in regards to the Epstein files. This actually goes back to what we were talking about earlier.
If people want to say we mishandled the Epstein release, guilty. We did.
Really quickly. I'm going to play that again.
But if people want to say we mishandled the Epstein release, guilty. We did mishandle, especially the communications of it.
What do you?
That alone, followed up with I approve this message, should be the ad that every single fucking Democrat or progressive running this election year for midterms should put out. Do your other ads, but just start off with this one. That one right there. And be like, I approve this message. That's all you should put. Anyways, let's keep going.
What do you think should have been done?
I think that we should have just dropped everything at the very beginning. And like, obviously it takes a little time to review the stuff, to find the stuff, to redact things where you have victims and so forth. But we should have just done it as quickly as possible.
But some of the stuff that was redacted, some of the names that were redacted weren't victims.
I want you guys to listen closely to this next part. I want you guys to listen very closely to what JD Vance responds with, okay? Open your ears, open your comprehension skills.
So, yeah, I've looked into this, and my understanding of this, having looked at a lot of this, but not all of it, is that it is sometimes hard to draw a distinction between victim and co-conspirator. And like, let me highlight this in a very sort of obvious way. Ro Khanna, who's been one of the loudest voices on the Epstein file. Well, he became very loud on the Epstein files the minute Donald Trump became president. Didn't seem to care about it during the Biden administration.
Actually, not
true. He
true.
actually brought one of the Epstein victims, I think, to the State of the Union last year, or maybe it was the year before last. Well, like that victim, and I'm not saying she wasn't a victim. I don't know anything about her particular case. She was also listed as a co-conspirator in some of these documents, right? So there's an idea.
What do you mean you don't know anything about a particular case? Whatever.
Idea that some of the people who were engaged in the sex trafficking were also, facilitating it as well.
So they were incentivized to get more girls.
Yeah, but yes, that's right. But the idea is that it's hard to sort of, it's sometimes a little bit of a gray area between, some of the people who were alleged victims were also alleged co-conspirators, and so what DOJ tried to do was kind of make that judgment as best they could and release as much as possible.
There you have it, guys. There you guys have it. The reason why some of the victims' names were released, despite them supposed to have, they should have had the protection of the United States government, is because they also allegedly were also the co-conspirators. This is the first time I've heard anything of this. In the years that Republicans, because they thought that the Epstein files would implicate Democrats and be an L for Democrats, talked about it, and the files that we've all seen, when the fuck have you guys heard any of them? And now the left, who has taken over this held this mantle now, when have you ever heard them mention, yeah, this person that may have been unredacted, which some of them was, right? This person was also one of the co-conspirators. Is that not one of the craziest fucking things to say? One of the craziest ways to dance around the fact that y'all fucked up to, I guess, essentially victim blame by calling some of them co-conspirators. And let's say that he's correct. Let's say that he's absolutely correct when it comes to some of those names that slipped out. All of these agents whose job was to sift through the files and put out information with the redactions, so long as it was supporting the victims' names, wouldn't they be responsible for consulting with a higher agent or higher authority, right? Hey, this person allegedly is a victim or survivor and a co-conspirator. What do I do here? If that case, you look if there's any pending investigations or anything else, and then you'd get that order back down from higher position to tell you what to do. So now you have agents just doing whatever they want willy-nilly, which is even, I don't know, that's worse. It's worse? I don't know. I feel like this is really bad. He needs to stop talking. He made some interesting comments as well surrounding that one guy who said that what we're doing in Iran is like a holy war sponsored by God. He had some other comments as well in regards to festival fraud. JD Vance just needs to stop talking. He just needs to stop talking. Okay, so it's perfectly fine that Trump supporters don't have the balls to request up, but y'all are sending me so much news. What is happening right today? I don't even know how to pronounce your name.
It's bro, and I got someone up. I guess people couldn't answer my question down in the chat, so I got someone up here.
You were sent an invite, which you accepted?
Yeah, I accepted, yeah.
Okay, just want to point that
So
out.
I guess you can answer my question. So, under the Democratic leadership for 12 years, who did they arrest in regards to the Epstein files?
I'm unfamiliar with any significant amount of arrests that took place.
So they didn't arrest nobody?
Again, I'm unfamiliar with any significant amount of arrests that took place under Democratic administrations. No different from the fact that no arrests took place under the Trump administration.
All right.
Well,
yeah, it did on his first term, right?
Some kind of got you. You mean
Wait,
the Epstein arrest, which his DOJ dropped the ball on?
Epstein arrest? Maxwell arrest?
Yeah, and he allegedly yeeted himself under the watch of Donald Trump's departments. I don't know if that's the flex that you think it is, especially considering that it was investigations throughout the last Democratic administration, Obama, that led to the inevitable arrest of Epstein in 2019.
19, yeah, and Maxwell in 2020. But again, who did they arrest? Nobody.
Yeah, again.
But Trump's the bad guy? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think you're understanding the point that I'm trying to make here. This man, the investigations into Jeffrey Epstein were ongoing, were passed on from administration to administration. Can you point to me what order or extra push that the Trump administration put on these respective departments to inevitably arrest him in 2019?
Well, obviously, it had been some type of push for him to be arrested, right?
No.
No, so they just kept doing the same thing, and eventually it just.
Do you remember? Do you remember when he got that sweetheart deal?
Where they arrested somebody.
Do you remember when he got that sweetheart deal?
That makes sense, right? Because Democrats had 12 years.
Do you remember when he got that sweetheart deal?
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. That Acosta gave him, sure.
Okay.
Well, again, he was arrested under another Republican, Bush, right?
Yeah. Bush never talked about Epstein. He never addressed it.
No, but he's still arrested under Republican. But why is it under Democrats?
Here's what you guys keep missing.
Nobody was
arrested. You guys
arrested.
Keep looking to Democrats.
That's interesting.
To be responsible for the arrests and prosecutions of Epstein or anyone involved in the Epstein files. None of those Democrats basically, or at least their party members, ran or prioritized it as a huge campaign thing, used it for tokens so they can get into the Oval Office, and then dropped the ball on it afterwards. The Republican Party did. Yes, that the Trump administration has grossly dropped the ball on transparency and actual prosecutions into the leads and people implicated in the Epstein files. 6,000%.
So Trump less than 6 years.
Also,
he's the bad guy in this case, but Democrats for 12.
Donald Trump very much is the bad guy in this case because of the lies he's told to protect himself. Do you remember when the Trump administration touted around? Do you remember? I'm about to tell you one. Do you remember when the Trump administration touted around that it was Donald Trump who snitched on Epstein in 2006?
Sure.
Okay. That was a lie. You know that, right?
Sure.
Michael Ryder. Michael Ryder was the investigator at the time who Donald Trump called back in 2006. And according to Republicans, he called them to snitch when he actually just called Michael Ryder to thank him. Do you remember how that conversation went?
No, play it for me.
No, I can't play it. This was testified.
Oh, okay.
Michael Ryder testified this. I would have the transcript, if anything. But Michael Ryder told them that Donald Trump called him and thanked him for arresting Epstein. That Trump said everyone knew he was a bad guy. We've known he was a bad guy. I'm so glad that someone finally got him. Do you know what that means?
That somebody's a bad guy? I mean, that can mean a lot of various things.
I'm gonna pick out your brain for a second after I read these donations because I think you can do better than that. W's in the chat to Ricky.
He's a bad guy.
W's in the chat to Ricky for the $10. Shh. W's in the chat to Ricky for the $10 cash app. Is it throat ussy or neck ussy? I'm not comfortable saying any of those words ever again. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Kieran for the $2 PayPal. I believe they bet on announcements, such as if there's been an agreement made with Iran, which countries are getting tariffed at what percent, and so on. That still is too easy for me. But that makes more sense. That probably is what he bet on, what Donald Trump was going to announce. That makes a lot more sense. W's in chat to you, Karen. Guys, when anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to do so with the links in the bio. Those of you on the YouTube side, super chat, super sticker, or consider becoming a member. Back to you. I want you to give me, take a wild guess. I'm going to tell you again what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump said, thank you, thank God. I'm glad someone finally arrested him. We all knew he was a bad guy. I'm glad someone finally got him. What do you think that means? What does that imply? And he teacupped, but I know you still can hear me. When you come back, I would love for you to answer that question. What do you think it means to say, I'm glad you got him. We all knew he was a bad guy. He may be trying to run. We'll find out momentarily. Or should I just snitch? Should I just give you guys the answer? Zoe, did you vote for Trump?
I did.
Cool. Hold for 1 second. Not yet? Okay, fine. Should we wait? We're gonna wait on him. We're gonna talk to Zoe for a second. All right, you voted for Donald Trump. Do you regret your vote, Zoe?
I do regret my vote.
Why is that?
Because I don't like what he's doing with I don't like the ICE policy at all.
Okay. You don't like what he's doing with ICE, so you're not a big fan of his weaponization of ICE, and the way they've been going city to city, violating the due process and constitutional rights of American citizens and undocumented migrants alike. I take it these last 2 killings within the last week, one in Houston and the other one in Maine, probably don't favor you well, especially considering that in one of them, he wasn't even the right target and was someone legally authorized to be here. And the other guy, they're trying to deport the only witness. So, oopsies, probably not the best look.
Interesting.
Oh, he's back. Cool. So did you take some
What's
time
up?
to think on my question?
No, I was still waiting for you to answer my question.
I feel like I answered your questions. You literally didn't answer mine. What do you think it means?
Oh, that the Democrats didn't arrested nobody? But why though?
I literally did answer that question, so I guess you have a tracking problem too. So once again, I want you to answer my question, which is, what do you think it means? What do you think it means when Donald Trump says, I'm so glad someone got him. Everyone knew he was a bad guy. We all knew. I'm so glad you got him. What do you think that means?
That he was a naughty boy.
Sometimes you guys make me ashamed to be an American. So as I was saying, what that means is that Donald Trump knew of his sex crimes. Donald Trump knew he was a creep. Donald Trump may have even had inside information, considering that many of these acts allegedly were happening inside the Mar-a-Lago estate and other institutions, and then he said and did absolutely nothing about it. When you tell an FBI agent that you knew, everyone knew what he was doing, and you would be one of those people who was at one point best friends with the guy, that means you were aware, and you could have even had information that could have led to the quicker prosecutions of what's his name, and you did absolutely nothing.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. Donald Trump confirmed the call. He confirmed his words. His entire administration did.
But allegedly that he knew everything was going on. Allegedly.
He literally said so. I'm sorry. What part? What did you just
Trump
miss about what I just said?
That Jeffrey Epstein was grooming and raping little girls.
He said everyone knew he was a bad guy.
To the FBI director.
He said everyone knew he was a bad guy.
No, I asked you. So Donald Trump said to Michael, whatever, that he knew that Jeffrey
I'm literally
Epstein
telling you what he
was
said.
raping and grooming these
I
little
literally
girls,
just told
right?
you what he said.
I'm asking.
I literally just told you what he said. Why are you asking me questions when I told you already what he said?
Okay, so again,
you didn't even know what he said.
You assumed that he knew all this.
No, it's not about assuming.
Allegedly,
I am telling you what he said.
Again, so did he tell the FBI guy?
He told the FBI guy everyone knew what he was doing.
These little girls.
He told them everyone knew what he was doing. I'm sorry.
Okay,
The arrest wasn't that he used to look at young girls a certain way. The arrest wasn't because he made an inappropriate comment to an underage girl. The arrest was based off of his sex crimes, based off his trafficking, based off of all the rape that were happening in their facilities.
Sure. Did Donald Trump say that he knew that they were being raped?
How many times do I have to repeat exactly what he said?
Do
you want me to respond to whatever your hypotheticals are when I'm telling you literally what he said and what that would mean?
That's what you claiming that he said.
I claim that he said everyone knew that he was a bad guy.
Okay, so again,
that's what I claimed. That's what he said. That's what we can crack. What is the definition of it? Oh, let's play this game. So in the context of Jeffrey Epstein being arrested for sex trafficking and the rape of young girls, what other crime would Donald Trump be talking about?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Money laundering, could be drug dealing. It could be a lot of different things, right?
So Donald Trump would call a prosecutor, call an FBI agent, and then say bad guy in reference to bad things, hypothetical bad things that has nothing to do with the whole reason he called him, which is over his arrest of sex crimes. That's the game that you're trying to play with me right now.
I don't think he said that. He said he was a bad guy. So
the lengths you guys will go to defend pedophilia and pedophilia protecting.
I mean, it seems like the Democrats, the only one who's protecting sex traffickers and predators.
It's not Democrats who are over all branches of the government. That's crazy. It's not Democrats who appointed two people over. It's not Democrats who appointed two people over who didn't openly say things like, hey, I have it right here on my desk, and then follow up by saying, Pam Bondi, now every single thing that I did, I passed on to Todd Blanche. Remember that closed hearing that she had because they didn't want it to be public, and she said everything in regards to Epstein files I directed to Todd Blanche because she was on her way out the door as a private citizen. And then Todd Blanche follows up with saying, we're not going to do any new prosecutions. I find that to be super duper interesting that none of that rhetoric came out of Democratic administrations. There wasn't a gross amount of hiding and covering up taking place by some of these appointees, nor would it matter to the day right now. If you want me to come up here and say, hey, I think Democrats under Democratic administrations may have had some failures in regards to the prosecutions of the Epstein files, I'm going to agree with that. That is irrelevant to the conversation because it is 2026. So any attempt that you keep making to point the finger at the parties that are long gone versus the ones that exist now and the ones who preside over the files now and all of the victims that are asking for justice now. And every single time you try to point the finger at someone else really just goes to show how much you don't care about justice. You just care about picking at the other side. And that's fucking
So what justice can they get now with the files being released?
What? Is that a serious question?
Yeah, since you released the files, what kind of justice can they get?
The files have not all been released, and the ones that have been are redacted to hell, still protecting the perpetrators.
Not really, because they said they released all the files besides
They did not. They literally never said they released all the files. That is a lie. They never said they released all the files. What are you talking about?
They said the other ones they haven't released are the duplicates and pictures of young kids.
No, they did not say that. And again, those things would still have to be redacted. It's just perpetuators' names, political figures' names, CEO names. Those ones are not supposed to be redacted.
That's a little gross.
That's the Epstein Transparency Act that Donald Trump signed into law and is now 208 days overdue of following through with. Todd Blanche, who under a federal court order on July the 2nd, was responsible for explaining at minimum why 11 to 12 of the files were still redacted to hell, or unredact them. And then on the 3rd, the day over the federal court order.
That's it? That's not
specifically, bad. Yes, because it was in relation to another case. That's what the federal judge had the ability to
So only
order.
11 to 12 files were.
Oh my God. At least 12 specifically. That was in relation to one of the individuals who took the case up to that judge is what the federal court was able to put a ruling on and mandate, or why Todd Blanche either didn't redact or unredact or explain why they were unredacted. That was what was in their ability as in relation to the other case. And on the 3rd, he said, no, we can't do it. We won't do it. And it is now July the 16th. Is today the 16th or the 17th? The 16th. There were a couple of days overdue on that order too. Trump administration and their appointees keep violating order after order, law after law, including the ones that they themselves sign. And you're sitting here pointing the finger at Democrats who are literally on the front lines of advocating on behalf of the survivors.
On the front line of advocating for the survivors.
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
I know that's
Can you
great.
tell
They didn't
me?
do
Can you
anything
tell me
for
what
them.
Ro Khanna
Obviously.
could have done in 2000?
Thank you.
Can you tell me what Ro Khanna could have done in 2015?
Thank you for agreeing with me.
Can
The
you tell me what
Democrats
Ro
did not-
Khanna could have done in 2015?
Thank you.
Can you tell me what Ro
Finally,
Khanna could have done in
Democrats said that.
2015?
Woo, finally.
Can you tell me what Ro Khanna could have done in
We get there,
2015?
bro. We got there finally. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We finally got there. Thank you.
How does it feel to be a pedophile protector?
How's that?
How's
We
that?
just-
Literally
we
every
just
single thing you
agreed
said
that
on this
they,
platform. We can't have a genuine conversation about the Trump administration and their attempts to obstruct
Wow.
justice for
But he's a
victims.
pedophile
You want to sit here and
protector?
hyper focus on people who are not in the position of power to do exactly what you're crying
That's crazy.
about. And you're literally protecting
know.
the man
You just
who is
agreed.
implicated in the files. A
no,
man
but-
who, one of the victims who
Epstein
settled with the Epstein estate, also alleged that Donald Trump harmed them himself. A man who presides over the department that was quick to move Ghislaine Maxwell into here in Texas and something that's considered a federal prison vacation, a resort for federal prisoners. No, not allegedly. She's
Don't
here
look
in
like no
Texas.
resort to me.
She's here in Texas.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a resort to me.
What's the name of the facility?
It's out there in, like, Brown, right? They don't look like no resort.
You literally just tried to argue against the conditions of this facility. You don't even know what it is. You've never
Yeah, I
even seen it, have
they
you?
released a video of her.
Yes, there's videos of her. Where?
Yeah, so does that look like a resort?
Where?
Online.
Not online. Where? What are the videos of her in that
Online.
facility?
Google.
How has the facility been
You can
described?
see her
What is the
in the
name of the
jail
facility?
cell.
What are the privileges that Ghislaine What are the privileges that Ghislaine Maxwell are afforded compared to other facilities?
Like
She
what?
was literally transferred and given additional privileges that she did not have beforehand.
What privileges did she have?
Her facility, the place that she's in, her room, she's able to get a certain outside access. She's able to get a TV, certain
Didn't
food
look like
privileges.
TV's in there.
You didn't even see
was
it,
no
bro.
TV in
You
there.
literally
Wasn't
didn't even
nobody
fucking
there.
see it. You want to talk about the photo of her just
You
getting
couldn't
arrested,
see-
the goddamn mugshot, and then compare that to the facility that
Couldn't
she's
see no
in now?
TV in her room. What are you
Jesus
talking
fucking
about?
Christ, this is ridiculous.
Show me the TV in her jail cell. Then.
My guy, this has literally been confirmed by
guy,
congressmen.
show
This
me
has
the
been
video.
confirmed by
Show me.
congressmen, senators, and even people
Show
who
me.
have been able to tour the facility and the
Show me.
employees there.
Show me.
You don't even know where she's staying. You can't even
Somewhere
prove to
in
me that
Texas.
she's not staying. No, because I just fucking told you that.
Yeah, it's like I thought. It was
I
in
literally
Brown,
just
Texas, and
fucking
then I
told
heard-
you that.
Yeah. Okay. So show me where she has a TV in her jail cell.
Zoe, you said you regret your vote, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you regret your vote because of ICE specifically.
Well, other things too, but
What are the other
mainly
things?
I do believe that he took a while to release the Epstein files because I do believe that he's a part of them. He had to like cover evidence of himself before he released some of them.
Yeah, 1,000 FBI agents were hired to go and flag his name. That's correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I do believe that.
And what are we doing about it now? I heard kids in the background. She may be busy attending to them. Thank you guys for hitting over 100,000 likes. I appreciate you. Yeah, she has kids in the background. She may be busy. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If the best you have in defense of Donald Trump, and let me be clear, this is defending Donald Trump, is but Democrats, you don't give a fuck about the victims. You don't give a fuck about justice. You don't care about the United States government under any administration protecting pedophiles. You only care about preserving your little white zaddy. That's it. That's all. That's fucking gross. Absolutely gross. Democrats didn't get any arrest. I'm sorry. What? Is that the point? And then by all means, if the Epstein files names these Democrats, if people that are implicated in the files, or we can get leads to Democrats who protected them, who held up those investigations, why is the Trump administration not outing them? What you guys keep missing out of this conversation is that if Democrats are in the files and the people who protected Epstein are in the same fucking files, Donald Trump would be protecting them as well. So I don't want to hear shit about Democrats when the president of the United States is protecting same Democrats. Does that make any sense to anyone, or am I fucking tripping here? If Trump has files with Democrats named in it, and God Trump no release, thank you, Merlot, and Trump no release file, Trump protect pedos. Friendly reminder, Donald Trump was a Democrat before switching over. Friendly reminder that he did his business with mostly Democrats. He said that Democrats run stronger economies and economy typically looks better under their rule. He jumped on the Republican bandwagon for a reason. I just want to point that out. He jumped on the Republican bandwagon for a reason. So whatever Democrat in his past or whatever the case may be that he's protecting, that's still on him. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about Democrats in the past who failed. I don't give a shit about those people. You know why? Because I can't go to those people and ask them to do what the president of the United States now has the ability to do. You want to shit on Obama? Okay. Go knock on Obama's door and ask him to release the files. Tell me what he can do. Oh, nothing? Then shut the fuck up. W's in the chat to Rico for the $2 Venmo. Hey, ask the caller why Oklahoma Republicans go against banning child marriage. They don't care. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. And to all the people keep saying, why didn't Biden release the files? I don't know how many times I have to keep going over this with y'all. 982 pages were released January of 2024 under the Biden administration. Not by Joe Biden, by the way, because Joe Biden does not control these branches. In fact, he respected the independence of them, so they didn't directly get involved. And then there's only so much they couldn't do without a federal court order, which we were then able to get done in September of 2025. That's the fucking difference. That's the difference. Okay? And then if the Trump administration decides to spearhead this, if Republicans decide to spearhead this because they thought they would get political points until they realized that the man that they elected would be very much the guy that they would be prosecuting and walked all their support back, you should probably take that up with them. Because you know who isn't implicated in the files? Obama. You know who isn't implicated in the files? Biden. The last two presidents that you want to blame for not releasing anything, none of those people were named as raping women in the fucking files. So you can miss me with that bullshit. Otherwise, maybe, just maybe, actually, not just maybe, absolutely, they would not have been elected. None of them had that weight on their shoulders come their elections, and then a bunch of Democrats said, we don't care. You guys did that. So your projections are very pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Zoe, I think you're taking care of your kids or something like that, but I appreciate you coming up. But what I was just going to say is midterm elections is this year. General elections come November, which means every single person who identifies as a maggot or a maggot supporter is a person you should not be voting for. Vote for the opposite. It's as simple as that. Vote for the opposite. It's as simple as that. Exactly, Caddy. They have to pass a law. And I'm not even going to say it's bipartisan. You know the reason why I'm not going to say it's bipartisan? It's because the reason why we got the Epstein Transparency Act to even get to the floor was because of the discharge petition. The discharge petition, yes, Thomas Massey's name was on it alongside Ro Khanna, but look into who signed it. How many Democrats signed the discharge petition compared to Republicans? Friendly reminder, Republicans were forced to vote on the Epstein Transparency Act because of the discharge petition. How many Republicans signed that petition to get it released? How did Mike Johnson hold up Congress so that Adelita Grijalva was not sworn in to be the final signature on the discharge petition? So this idea of it being bipartisan because Republicans were backed into a corner and had to pass it because at that point, if they did not unanimously in the Senate, if they did not pass that unanimously in the Senate, do you know what that would have meant? Every single Republican would have lost midterms. Every single one. Please understand the game that these people are playing. They didn't have a choice but to vote for it at that point because Democrats forced their hand. That's the only reason we have the Epstein Transparency Act. And then before you say Donald Trump could have vetoed it, that would have been the end of his presidency too. That would have been an impeachable offense if he would have vetoed something like that with all the other allegations and information made against him. They bought themselves time by signing it. They bought themselves time by putting it into law because now they can just dance around the law with all this fucking rhetoric. Some of the rhetoric we saw today. Todd Blanche saying he can't directly meet with them and then he's going to meet with them. The lawyers weren't an issue all of a sudden. Just start to track shit. Continue to double tap the screen, guys. Let's get the likes up to 200K and beyond. If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday at 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Please make sure you're sharing out the live with your friends and family as well. Give it a good repost and add it to your story. We have 86 more of these little finger hearts to go, so please make sure you're knocking out the gift goals to help us get boosted out on the FYP. And also, click on my name in the top left corner, and you'll see our B5 gift gallery that we're in. Please feel free to knock out any of the grayed out gifts that you can. It also helps boost out the platform. And then finally, check out the links in the bio for the best ways to support the platform. Please make sure you're following me on social media, such as YouTube, that we're doing streaming to right now, or Instagram, where I post the videos I put up here. Join the Discord community. We're over 760 members strong. Get yourself some merch off the merch shop. Most of the merch that you see behind you is the things that I'm being able to sell. HectorShops.com with 2 R's. And of course, direct donations. If you just want to say hi to my cute face, support the stream, or send a message that you want me to read out, is going to be in the Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. Those of you on the YouTube side, those links are also available in the description of the live stream. Please make sure that you're hitting the like button on the stream, subscribe, turn on notification bells. And if you want to support, you may send a super chat or super sticker. I'm going to go back to this video that we were talking about with elections, because again, the Epstein argument is dead. At maximum, he's a pedophile. At minimum, he's protecting them. Both are the same to me. Both are the same to me. At maximum, he's a pedophile. At minimum, he's protecting them. Both are the fucking same to me. When, why am I blanking on her name now? Marjorie Taylor Greene. When Marjorie Taylor Greene says, I was threatened by Donald Trump. Donald Trump called me personally and told me not to sign that discharge petition because of all the good people in there that would get a bad rep, right? All the good people are there who get caught in the crossfires.
God bless you.
I think y'all were told everything you needed to know. Dope! W's in the chat to Gooch. W's chat to Gucci for the Guardian's Pledge. That's a dope ass gift. That's such a pretty freaking gift. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Gooch. Shout out to Jordan. Thank you guys for that gift. I appreciate y'all. When Marjorie Taylor Greene can tell you guys this, and you guys just act like it didn't happen, when she tells you that Donald Trump blamed her for her son's death or his son's beating, did he die? He didn't die, did he? I don't remember. Did Marjorie Taylor's son die? Hold on. Yeah. He got death threats. And then Donald Trump said, oh, if he dies, it would have been on you because you betrayed me. That's what it was. He got death threats, and then she told Trump about it. Can you talk to people? Can you tell them to calm the rhetoric down? He said, oh, if anything happens to them, it's your fault. That doesn't strike anyone as concerning to you, how he treat his own party members? All because, mind you, Marjorie Taylor Greene was full-throated for the guy. All she did was ask for transparency with the Epstein files and to actually make America, make America first. That's it. And she's a nut job, but that's the only two things that she fucking asked for. And because of that, she betrayed him. Absolutely diabolical. I'm going to play this really quick video, and then we're going to get into the story that Erica wanted us to go over, because oh my gosh, absolutely diabolical. Let me see if I still can put it up on the screen here. It's going to kind of be cropped out, but we have to do so because TikTok has been sensitive lately. Let me start it over.
Find him so the same guy who's on tape demanding from Republicans in Georgia that they find him exactly 11,780 votes. That same guy is going to tell you on national television that Democrats in Georgia are the ones cheating. We still have the tapes. Listen.
We have to stand by our numbers. We believe our numbers are right.
Why do you say that, though? I don't know. I mean, sure, we can play this many, many times above the 11,779, and many of those numbers are certified, or they will be certified, but they are certified. Those are numbers that are there, that exist, that beat the margin. Of so what are we going to do here, folks? I only need 11,000 votes. Fellas, I need 11,000 votes. Give me a break. We only lost the state by by that number, 11,000 votes, and 779. So with that being said, and there's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated.
Mr. President, the problem you have with social media, people can say anything.
No, this isn't social media. This is Trump media. It's not social media. It's really not. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have. I have to find 12,000 votes, and I have them times a lot, and therefore I won the state. No. Look, ultimately, I win, okay? Because
Mr. Secretary,
you guys are so wrong, and you've treated the population of Georgia so badly.
Now just imagine all the phone calls he made that weren't taped.
Imagine that. Imagine if Joe Biden said, I just need 11,780 votes. There's nothing wrong with saying you've recalculated. I say all this, or play that clip specifically, to let you guys in on something. This is why we should not take anything that the Trump administration touts around as being for election integrity and security as genuine or real or worth a damn. Everything that they have done since taking the Oval Office has been to rig it. The firing of the EAC, the redistricting war that they started almost immediately, starting here in Texas and then spreading across the South, mostly to disenfranchise black voters. The attacks on mail-in voting ballots, the rhetoric surrounding California's elections, all of this crap is because he can't stand the thought of losing again. But Thomas Massie said it best himself. How did we win? How do we win if there's so much fraud? And then how are we still in power, right? Or how is it so much fraud still when we control all the branches of government? Think about it. Think about it. Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I would like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, you can call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, this live is a safe space for you to come up here and express all the reasons that made you get up off the MAGA plantation. Or if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, you think he's doing a great job, you think he's telling nothing but the truth and all the truth, so help him God. You also may request up in the box or call the number on screen, 737-295-5321, and I'll give you several reasons as to why you're wrong. And it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It is perfectly okay to be wrong. I've been very wrong before. I was dead wrong in 2020 when I thought Trump was a great president. I was dead wrong in 2020, and now I'm here. My final clip I want to play is going to be in regards to the Chips and Science Act. And this is Donald Trump's words. This is Donald Trump's words himself. So those of you who do not remember, the Chips and Science Act that passed in 2022 was one of the biggest pieces of legislation passed bipartisanly under the Biden administration to launch domestic manufacturing of semiconductors and other things here in the United States. I believe Taiwan produces 60% of certain, what's the name of those chips? 60% of them. And that showed to be a particular weakness for the United States, especially considering that the United States and China are going to be consistently having that back and forth over Taiwan's sovereignty. So they said, hey, we need to make more of our chips here. Everyone agreed we need to make more chips here. So they passed this legislation, and it put roughly $53 or $56 billion into domestic investments and domestic manufacturing here for those chips. There's been several reports that were released in 2024, one even at the beginning of 2025 in January, that showed over 23 states 15 facilities specifically, a lot of them being in Texas, Arizona, I believe there's one in New Mexico, Colorado, where all of these things are going to be launched because of the investments put into the CHIPS and Science Act. Some of the AI revolutions and stuff that we're seeing the Trump administration take credit for literally started under Joe Biden. We have the funding, we have the documentation, but this is what this fucking nincompoop said today. This is what this nincompoop said today in regards to the CHIPS and Science Act. You won't believe this shit.
Bring back the car plants, the AI plants are all coming back. If they don't, they have to pay taxes. The chips, we had this ridiculous CHIPS Act where you give billions of dollars to a company and they didn't even know what the hell to do with it. You give them billions of dollars, they say they're going to build. Nobody knew what to do with it. And of course, the standards were so high. If you weren't transgender, as an example, you didn't qualify. So they get the money, they'd look all over for transgender people to run the company, large portions. They couldn't find them. They weren't into the chip making business, I guess, right? They had other things on their mind. But this was the Biden fools, those idiots that almost destroyed our country.
Emmy, I'm actually kind of glad you got a laugh out of this because it just pissed me off. But you can see the humor in it, I guess. I kind of get that. There's certain things that he says that Republicans say that's so fucking ridiculous. You're wasting your energy and getting angry. But this did piss me off because on one level, on one hand, saying something just so goddamn fucking stupid, God bless you, should concern everyone. On the other hand, it's like, man, because the stupidity isn't just a nut job on the street saying it. This guy controls the fucking government right now. But holy shit. This man legitimately believes that. He believes this. Actually, in some ways, I don't think he actually believes that. I think he just says it. But how crazy do you have to be to say something like that? This motherfucker probably heard transmitters and said, oh shit! He probably heard transmitters and said, God damn it, the trans infiltrated everything again. Not this cat trying to get in my fucking... Hold on. Bruh, you cannot leave a creak or nothing open on these doors because this cat will try to push himself in, bro. Diabolical. Diabolical. So he literally probably heard transmitters and thought, ah, shit, see, there's the Democrats at work again. What kind of fucking ridiculous thing is this? Can anyone name any transgender CEO, chip manufacturing CEO or head? I'm unfamiliar with any. I'm not saying there's none, but I'm unfamiliar with any. And then how do we explain the majority of the $53 billion at the end of 2024 already being allocated in those investments? First and foremost, the CHIPS and Science Act created a commission. This commission was able to determine who would get the funding if, yes, they met certain qualifications. You had to commit to be America first. Literally the entire thing the Trump administration cries about. You had to commit to being America first. You had to commit to building these facilities here in the United States. You had to commit to ensuring that all that manufacturing was being here, alongside other things. So that's what they did. And over time, they got this company to do it. They got this company to do it. They got this company to do it. And I want to make sure I'm getting the terminology right for you guys on specifically what was the language here? What was the language here? So one of them specifically was, that's still cropped up on the screen there. So those global foundries, we had Intel. Intel was obviously a huge one, TSMC, and we have them over the course of, again, 15 freaking plants in 23 states starting to be in construction. 15 of them. 15 of them. One of them was being Samsung. 12, I believe, or 12 of the minor ones, because there's different ones. Excuse me. I don't know why these graphs aren't working. This graph displays semiconductor fabrication plants, both new and expansions by owner. That was another thing. There's a bunch of people who keep saying, well, where are the new plants? Not all the funding went towards new plants specifically. Some of it was just adding in departments into existing branches, specifically dedicated to these things. For example, 12 planned fabs in Austin and Taylor, Texas. The Taylor fabs are set to be completed over the next 2 decades, with the first expected to be operational by 2026, this year. And it's about going that way. It's about going that way. So I don't know what they're talking about when they say this shit. But according to him, nothing has happened because you have to be a trans person to get the funding. Fucking ridiculous stuff.
Sean.
Sean, you're on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
I sure did, man.
And do you regret your vote?
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Well, the child molestation, the false promises, the economy, the wars that he promised not to start, or the operations, or whatever the hell he's calling it right now, and just the corruption all around. It sucks, man. I freaking regret it. I don't think I'll ever vote ever again. I think that they're all freaking pieces of crap.
So, obviously, we don't have to have a back and forth about the Trump administration's failures. In fact, I can probably go back and forth with you about Democratic failures as well. But I'm curious as to why this finding of yours would result to you never voting again.
Well, let's see. How can I put it? I'm almost thinking that it's a uniparty type thing. I don't really think that the politicians are there for the benefit of the American people. I think that they're there to get as much money as they possibly can and get as rich as they can. And you know what? I might be wrong because, I mean, money makes the world go around. But, I mean, and if I was up there, I'd probably be corrupted just like everybody and their mom is. But I almost feel, and I could be wrong, I almost feel as if everybody's out for themselves and nobody cares about the American people.
I would say we have more than enough congressmen and women, including on the Republican side, while I may disagree with them ideologically, that would have evidence of them trying to work on behalf of the American people, the people who don't take APAC funding or funding from other super PACs, because APAC isn't the only one. The people have voted on important legislation that has benefited the American people. More recently, individuals have voted on the 21st Century Road to Housing Act, which in the next couple of years is going to directly lead to the decrease in housing costs. And then my favorite part about having conversations about surrounding elections and new batches of people who actually care about us, it's a midterm election year. We have the ability to clean as much house as possible, and I mean house quite literally, in the House, in the Senate, your senators, your governors. We have a couple special elections coming up because folks who died. This is the year, if anything, if you truly believe that the United States government on both sides and most of our representatives on both sides are so bad, then this is your opportunity to then get in someone who does work on behalf of you.
Okay. Hey, I totally understand that. I get where you're coming from. Do you think, and oh man, I'm going down a rabbit hole here, but I mean, do you think our votes actually matter? Do you think that it actually works? Do you think it actually matters?
6,000%. I would ask my parents who were here before the Civil Rights Act passed. Not my parents, mutuals of mine. Black people were here before the Civil Rights Act passed. If their vote mattered, and I think they would say yes. I would ask the 3 million people, Black Americans specifically, who was able to get access to healthcare coverage after the ACA passed, whatever your contention with that is. If their vote mattered, I think they would say yes. I would ask the people who were able to have protections, additional protections of them for housing discrimination because of Obama's disparate impact rule. If voting matters, they would say yes. I would ask the people who were dying from what you call it? What you call it?
No, COVID.
Well, no. The act that Donald Trump passed, that allowed people who were basically about to die because of some illness to try experimental medicine who can save their life. I would ask those people if their vote mattered, and they would say yes, the hell it did. I would ask people during COVID. When they passed Operation Warp Speed and were able to get the vaccination out, which contributed to the decrease of the spread of the virus, if their vote mattered, they would say yes. I would ask the millions of Americans who were able to get their student loan forgiven under the Biden administration, if their vote mattered, they would say yes. So I'm saying absolutely, because I can point your vote and some ideology you have, some moral principle you have, to how it's been at least some kind of act, some kind of EO has been passed to address that thing, and say, yes, voting absolutely matters. We have nothing but ample evidence to show that it does.
All right. Yeah. No, I got you on that. I'm just, I don't know, man. I mean, it's getting to the point in this country where we are so divided, and it almost seems like they're doing it on purpose. And I truly believe that the politicians should be afraid of the American people, because there are more of us than them. And I just all of the BS that's going through right now. I mean, it's just we need to band it. We need to make them afraid. You are my brother. You know what I mean? I mean, like I have brothers and sisters all across this country in all different colors, because we all call each other Americans, and we need to the division that they're pushing. I'm truly thinking that they are keeping us under their thumbs, because they don't want some sort of an uprising or a rebellion. Because, I mean, sooner or later, people are going to get sick with all the freaking bull crap that's happening up there. You know what I mean? I mean, the people are already sick of it. I mean, I'm sure that you see it all the time.
We can't possibly have an honest conversation about the division in this country without talking about who has spearheaded that division. And make no mistake, that is very much Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Democrats'
I agree with
political
you.
attacks on Donald Trump, and even some Republicans who full-throatedly support him, is vastly different from Donald Trump's rhetoric on the entire left-wing or Democratic base. His misrepresentation of our mission, our goals, the lies that he's literally touted not only to get him elected, but to keep him in power, those are just very, very different from anything that most Democrats have said about him, which, to be clear, the majority of the Democratic Party's frustrations with the opposing side has been associated with Donald Trump himself.
God bless
there are
you.
many Republicans we've been trying to work alongside, or very much did work alongside under Biden with some of the. Thank you so much, Ford, for the hand hearts. With the bipartisan legislation that was passed, we can see that. We saw when Joe Biden tried to address the nation with the different State of the Unions that he spoke to all Americans, versus Donald Trump, who sat up there for an hour and decided to shit on this person, the enemy within. His labeling of us as domestic terrorists, even though he pardoned 1,600 of them back in January of last year.
Exactly. That's another thing that really pisses me off about what's going on right now is I voted for somebody who I thought was going to be professional. And when you are the face of a country, and I understand that Donald Trump doesn't call all the shots in this country. I understand that the president doesn't have, I don't know too much about it because, I just don't. But I do know that he has to go through certain things in order to make it happen. But the one thing that I don't like is the fact that he personally attacks other people. And the president of the United States of America is supposed to be at the utmost professionalism. I expect that. The president of the United States is supposed to be professional. He's supposed to be, a good, a good person.
You
for the
voted
job.
for Donald Trump for professionalism? Donald Trump.
Well, okay. Let me give you an example. I mean, right here. If you told me that you were going to do this, and that, I'd be like, shit, dude. I'm going to vote for that guy. That guy right there promised me a whole bunch of stuff, dude. I'm going to give that guy my vote. And then when he gets in there and he shit cans all the stuff that he freaking went on campaign about, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you think that you're a freaking jackass because you voted for somebody that lied. He lied.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Again, on the note of professionalism, he was never that. Ever. He's arguably the president with the least amount of decorum that we've ever seen in United States history. And when it comes to many of his campaign promises, so much of it was just talk, absolute talk. We cannot point to some of the things that led to, I guess, some of the historic accomplishments under his first term, low unemployment, inflation, the gas prices, so on and so forth. We can't even point to a lot of those direct policies specifically. And then this time around, the things that, if anything, may have led to some of those accomplishments, He basically walked back when he ran off of tariffs, blanket tariffs. He wanted to ramp up the tariffs much further than what he did in his first term, which was bad. We literally lost money because of his trade war. He wanted to increase the budget of the Department of Defense. Hell, changed it to the Department of War after running off of no new wars, which is the craziest fucking thing to do if you're trying to lead with peace. I get everything that you're saying, and I'm aware of his failures. I'm just simply trying to make the point that if professionalism was an issue of yours, or the truth was an issue of yours, then that was never going to be found in Trump. He was on record for the most lies of any president in his first term, over 37,000.
I must be ignorant in that department then, because he pulled the wool over my eyes, man. You know what I mean? I must not have done my research as good as I should have. And you know what? Now I have to sit here and, freaking think about what I'm going to do in the future, and it doesn't really look like I'm going to be voting for any politician.
I think ignorance is one thing. The beautiful thing about ignorance is at some point with awareness or a choice, you can choose not to be. I think at this point, where you would be choosing to be stuck on stupid is if you were willfully ignorant. I hope you understand the difference here. Don't be willfully ignorant. And to look at our political process and choose not to vote, I would argue, is willfully ignorant, because you'd be ignoring the accomplishments made in this country because people like you and I wanted a better country, because we wanted to see it actually work on behalf of its people. And we can talk about its failures all day, every day, but I don't think that's beneficial, because as far as I'm concerned, I have a model for myself. It's going to be a little dark. I apologize. I'm not trying to make a joke about schmuicide, but I think you should work your life to continuously grow as a person, to be better, to do better, or you should just die. If you sit there and choose to not make anything better in life, if you choose to just give up on the options available to you, what the fuck is the point of being here? And I would make the same argument about politics. We should always be trying to work on behalf or vote for politicians who are actually about that life. What I mean by that is we start with looking at their history. If a candidate is saying they're going to do a bunch of things, and they say they believe in a bunch of things, and nothing about their personal history in the past aligns with the stuff that they're saying, then that's more than enough evidence to support the claim that they're full of shit. If a candidate runs off of things that are just arguably impossible to do, I don't know what happened. I don't know if he hung up or if the call disconnected, but I got my point across. Not voting is never an option. I'm sorry. Not voting is never an option. Actually, you guys in Maine are fucked. That's not funny. I'm sorry. You guys in Maine are fucked. You can't vote for Graham Plattner. Well, you're about to get a different candidate. So yes, no. I stand on what I said. Not voting is never an option. Not voting is never an option. You're literally about to get a different candidate. Finish the speech? No, I was basically done. The first step in knowing who to vote for is knowing their history. So many people complained when Donald Trump came down that golden escalator. Why is it the Democrats put so much of a spotlight on him? Why are they investigating every little gritty bit of his life? Because that's our job. We want to know who you are. We want to know if you're consistent with your beliefs. We want to know if you are anything in your past contradicts your future. And obviously people grow and people change, but we need to see evidence of that growth if you're running off of that. That's where things start. So if Kamala Harris said, I'll give you a great example. The common position of Republicans, Kamala Harris says that she wanted to legalize MJ, she wanted to legalize MJ, decriminalize it, all these different things, but then she locked up a bunch of people for it. That's not accurate, right? Because for one, as a prosecutor, and those being the laws at the time, you still had a job to do, right? So you can't blame Kamala Harris for locking up people, because what was she supposed to do? Not prosecute people with the evidence before her? Then why the fuck would she be a prosecutor? However, here's the piece of evidence that we can use to support the claim that she very much was for the legalization and sponsored it as a senator. Okay? The Back on Track program. The Back on Track program that she started in California. She said, the best I can do is if you don't have this level of offense, if you have a low level offense, we're going to get, thank you guys for the follows. We're going to get it up off your record, right? We're going to give you some counseling. We're going to give you some aid. We're going to give you some job assistance, blah, blah, blah. And when you successfully complete this program, you don't have to worry about that being on your record for the low-level offenses. That is evidence of what she stood on and what she supported, not the other bullshit. So I can look at that history and say, okay, Kamala Harris is about that life. I can look and see that she was about police reform when she spearheaded body cams for all officers to wear body cams. First in the nation, California, because of her. I can see she's about that life of police reform and the executive orders that she helped sponsor and support under the Biden administration, the legislation that she supported. We can track all of Kamala Harris's positions and beliefs and how it related to what she was saying and the policies that she put forward on the campaign trail. You can't do the same thing with Donald Trump. You literally can't do the same thing with Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't talk about fair wages because he did not pay so many of his employees. He can't talk about fraud and criminality, specifically in the fraud department, when you didn't pay your taxes for so long, when you're known to defraud your own fucking cancer charities, when you stole money from a damn whatchamacallit, the military fund. The military fund was for like housing construction, and put it towards a freaking border wall, then talk about how you like the VA. When you want to talk about bettering American lives, and then you say that housing affordability is a yawn. When you say that inflation is nothing compared to what you want to do in the Middle East. Those are all contradictions to everything he ran off of. And mind you, that happened after 2024, but we can point to things he said before the campaign to show that he was a joke. So that's the first thing. You have to look at their history and see if it aligns with what they're saying. And then if they have some political experience, we can look at what they actually did when these opportunities presented itself and understand it within context. Kamala Harris supported immigration reform and a secure border, but she was not responsible for securing it as a quote unquote border czar, because that was never her job. No vice president can do that. And then when she did have the ability to on the campaign trail, she sponsored S4361 and tightening up the borders with prosecutions that I actually disagreed with. When she said your first offense, if you don't enter the country through a port of entry and claim asylum and we catch you, you're barred for 5 years. I disagreed with that because I thought it was aggressive, but I understood why she did it. That's all it is. That's all it is. So it's just, I don't know. The shit isn't hard. I think we have far too many candidates, especially the ones that are winning in the DSA chapter. We have far too many candidates on the ballot this November to sit here and say that voting does not matter or that we're not going to participate, because so many of these people are running off of everything you want. So why would you not vote for them? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. Anywho's, Trump supporters request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you're over on the tube side, we call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Mr. Mike, I missed this. W's in the chat to you for the $5 Venmo. Does he know it's fucking...
God bless you.
Thank you, Merlet, for the hand heart. Does he know it's fucking stupid? I think that may... Mr. Mike. Can you do me a favor, Mr. Mike? I appreciate you. I really do. Sometimes your donations are difficult to read. Sometimes your donations are difficult to read, Mr. Mike. I'm not gonna lie. Could we try to? I'm gonna try to read this. Does he know it's fucking stupid? I think that may be the main question. Does he think he's stupid as fuck? Because I don't know if he thinks he's stupid as fuck. I think he thinks he's smart as fuck. We're all stupid. Leave it to Mr. Mike. Leave it to Mr. Mike to borderline leave me more confused. Leave it to Mr. Mike to leave me more confused than Trump supporters sometimes. Leave it to Mr. Mike to leave me more confused than Trump supporters sometimes. I appreciate your support, Mr. Mike. Oh my God, that was funny. That was funny. Anyways, guys, anyone else wants to support the platform, please feel free to do so with the links in the bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector Talks with 2 R's and Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker or consider becoming a member. What is happening with YouTube? Okay, I fixed it. I fixed it. Okay. Hector, do you want to become president? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. W's in the chat to Mr. Mike for the 5. My bad, bro. I'd be voice texting because I'll be driving and the shit is trash. That's fair. That's fair. That voice text is not good. Especially if you're on an iPhone. One big thing that I've learned, and I'm gonna get so much slack for this, but if you guys don't know the difference, then shut the fuck up. Like Google Assistant was so much better than Siri. Google Assistant is so much better than Siri. At picking up words, doing the voice typing, Google Assistant is key. Siri could fucking never. Absolutely could never. That's one of the big things I miss since switching over to my iPhone is Google Assistant. Because Siri could never. Siri's about to get a lot better in iOS 27. Well, I hope so. Like, I know you fucking iPhone snobs. You guys think iPhone is the best at every goddamn thing. And they are pretty damn good at a lot of fucking things. Like, there's exceptional cameras, best cameras. I think best streamlining and everything else. But when it comes to certain things, Android just does it better. And Google Assistant is far superior. MK did a great review of iOS 27 beta. I may have to take a look at that. Hawaii beat Samsung, beat Apple. I'm not touching that one. I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. Google Pixel camera is better? So the Pixel camera, don't get me wrong. This is an old one. This is God bless you. Thank you, African, for the Stingray. W's to African. Make sure you guys are following him. This is a Google Pixel 6 Pro. And I remember at the time the camera was good, but I think the hardware is ultimately where Pixels fall behind. It's the hardware. Because over time, that hardware fuels the camera, some of the functions of the camera. And when that shit is weak, it fucks up everything else. So they're good cameras, but I don't think it has the hardware to back up Pixels to be able to compete with other phones. I like the Pixels, but I don't think it has the hardware. Hector Talks, you made by Google Assistant. Come on. Whoopsies. My bad. May I ask why you don't want to become president? I wouldn't have a chance in hell, for one. And that's also going to be, which this is going to sound like I'm being ridiculous when I say this, but hear me out. It's also a very public life. I would not want my life to be that public. Obviously, I'm a content creator with over 100,000 followers on all platforms and shit. But that's different because I can tell y'all what I want. And no one's that invested in me to go look up other shit. I don't care what you look up. You're going to find that I was a maggot. You're going to find where I lived. You may find an X or two. Good luck with that. But it's just, no, I do not, especially in my youth, because I'm 28 years old, and the life that I've lived in 25 of those years, 26 of those years specifically, I intend when I'm like 40 onward to basically disappear from society for the most part and live a peaceful, reclusive life, catching up on the childhood that I wasn't given. I can't fucking do that as president of the United States. Not to mention, again, let's just start with the 117 episodes we've done of Defend the Indefensible. There's no chance in hell I'd even get the primary vote. On the first debate stage, Mr. Hector, did you call MAGA, do you refer to MAGA as maggots? Yes, I did. Do you still believe that? Yes, I do. What do you have to say to the people in the chat, not the chat, I guess it would be a crowd, to the people in the crowd right now who identify as MAGA? And I would be like, I mean, if they're still MAGA and the shoe fits, lace that bitch up and wear it. That's what I would say. That's not how you win elections, okay? That's not how you win elections. Do you think it's a smart thing to do to call the base that you're looking for votes, trying to get votes from, maggots? And I'd be like, who said I'm trying to get their votes? I don't align myself with bigotry. And it's not that anything that I said would be wrong. It's just not smart, okay? It's not smart on the campaign trail. The best candidates that we've been able to see win, for the most part, on the Democratic side, I should say, were the bipartisan ones. They're not the people who are just cutthroat, fuck everybody, or fuck everyone who doesn't agree with me. That's not me, however. But still, it's just, I would have to placate too many people I'm not good. That's a lie. I'm very good at being middle and bipartisan. There's at some point, enough is enough. I want to give you guys a perfect example. I think I gave this example earlier in the live, but I'll do it now. I was co-hosting with Ari yesterday, and she had a guest who she spoke to before, and she referred him to me and Jimmy. I don't remember his last name, Jimmy, because we're both in Texas, to talk about our Senate candidates, James Tallarico and Ken Paxton. So while I was on her live, he called in yesterday, and she was basically wanting an update from him on if he did some research into Ken Paxton and James Tallarico. And the guy said, yeah, I actually took your advice and I decided to look into the candidates and I did some research. And in the research that I did, I found that none of them really were talking about policy. None of them actually talked about what they wanted to do. Thank you so much, Gucci, for knocking out that gift in the gift gallery. W's in the chat to Gucci. Thank you for knocking out the hearts. Guys, please feel free to click on my name in the top left corner and see what of the gift gallery you guys can knock out. I would appreciate it. So anyways, he said that he did research and he couldn't find any specific policies from James Tallarico and Ken Paxton and how they were going to do it. I'm going to show you guys, hold on. I'm going to show you guys, if it was my live and I had camera access, what I would have done and what I did do. And this is what I explained to him. And this is why people think I'm an asshole.
God bless you.
I'm going to show you guys just enough to where I don't get a flag here on TikTok. And YouTube, you won't be able to see it. But this is what I'm doing. I'm not kissing the hearts. Absolutely not. And you know why. I'm not doing that shit. So this is what I did. James, you can't see the search bar. I can't show it, but I'm typing James Tallarico policies 2026. Enter. Step 1. The first thing that shows up on jamestallarico.com/issues, click on that. Second step. On this page, you can't see all of it, but on this page, there are 12 categories. We're going to go over the 12 categories.
Call from
Larry on the line. Hold for one moment. There's 12 categories. Let's go over them really quickly. Corruption and democracy, taxes and costs of living, public education, healthcare, freedom, family and faith, immigration and border security, social media, AI and tech, public safety and justice, labor and business, rural investment, foreign policy, energy and environment. And then when you click on any one of those, they're going to tell you exactly what he intends to do in every single one of those categories. So I said back to the guy, there's no way that you did the sliver of research into these candidates, because if you did, you would have been able to find what I just did. Mind you, that's just on his website. You can go anywhere and catch overviews of their policy platform. So I said, hey, maybe you should do a bit better. If you wanted to go find the latest video game sale, you would find it. If you wanted to go find information on your favorite sports team or basketball player, you would find it. If you wanted to go find you a hot date, you'd find the right apps and swipe right or left. Swipe right on all the people that you like. You would do it. So I find it interesting that you're coming up here and you're talking to me or telling us that you weren't able to find anything when this took no time whatsoever. You're going to find what you want to find, and you need to stop making excuses. I don't coddle people. I'm tired of coddling people. I've done that for far too much of my life. And I think sometimes, in my case, I know it worked, and for other people, sometimes people need to be told straight. They don't need the coddling, especially when it's been done enough times. Coddling is how we got Donald Trump in the Oval Office. I think it's okay to call people stupid. I think it's okay to tell them when they're fucking wrong. I think it's okay to be like, yo, you want some bullshit. That's it. That's it. So that's a big thing. I'm not bipartisan enough for politics, I don't think. I'm a good content creator for MS Now. I'd be horrible for, I don't know, something else. For fuck's sake. Hold on, YouTube. I gotta mute. How is that even allowed? This is a child's app. How is that even allowed? That's your only warning. Anyone who sends those music gifts will get a ban. That's your only warning. What? Thank you for the gift, but How is that allowed? You telling me any child can get on this app, send a shit myself gift? What? I got that one 3 times today? Oh my goodness, African. Anyways, let's get to this guess. All right, Larry, on the line. You voted for Trump, correct?
Well, not the first time, but I did the second time.
Second time would be 2020.
Against Harris. I voted for him against Harris.
So the third time, the relevant time.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, the third time.
Okay. Do you regret your vote?
Do I regret my vote? No, because I think out of him and Harris, she was not a good choice. And there was not really another choice that was, like, realistic. So there's nothing to regret there. It's like the lesser of the two evils.
What made Harris a bad choice?
What made Harris a bad choice? Well, she couldn't complete a sentence without saying the same word 12 times.
This is coming from the guy who voted for Donald Trump, who the majority of his speeches, he's talking about the exact same thing, like the 2024 election, or excuse me, the 2020 election being quote unquote stolen from him, Hunter Biden, transgenderism for everyone, and all that nonsense.
There has been evidence of
Donald Trump,
fraud in the thing.
Donald Trump at every single rally has been acting as if he's been campaigning.
To be put into proof, so we don't know about that.
Lock her up, right?
It's interesting that you bring that up because
Child care is child care. That guy. Kamala Harris completed several sentences. Kamala Harris completed several sentences, the ones that mattered, and she articulated her policies very well, not only on the campaign trail, but in her 82-page document, A New Way Forward for the Middle Class, where she wanted to create an opportunity economy.
Yeah, she stole that policy from Trump, he came out with that about 2 weeks before she started saying that all over television.
What policy?
The one you just said.
What policy did I just say?
Anyway, the reason I called.
No. You said Kamala Harris stole a policy.
Yeah.
And you said it was the one I just said. I said a new way forward for the middle class and what she calls an opportunity economy. All of those words in the sequence that I just presented them to you have never came out of Donald Trump's mouth in that way. Her policy was vastly different. The only similarities were no tax on tips and keeping the standard deduction doubled for everyone who makes less than $400,000 a year. Every other policy was extremely different. They couldn't be further from each other.
So she wanted to continue with many of Joe Biden's policies.
Like what?
They even asked her, what was it, on 60 Minutes? They asked her if there's anything that she would have changed about Joe Biden, and she said absolutely not. And she would continue those.
You're actually wrong on that. First and foremost, it was The View where she was asked that question, if she would change anything from what Joe Biden did, and she answered with nothing particularly comes to mind and proceeded to mention the good policies that she would try to carry on, such as lowering the cost of subscription drugs and 10 other life-saving substances, capping the cost of insulin and inhalers to being no more than $35, expanding healthcare access, student loan forgiveness, chips in science, and then at the end of the show,
going to reduce prescription costs.
At the end of the show, she actually did mention something she'd do differently, but specifically in answering to that question, she mentioned all the good that she accomplished under the Biden-Harris administration and how she wouldn't want to change that. I would argue if the Biden-Harris administration did good things, there's no reason whatsoever why the predecessor or the vice presidential candidate or presidential candidate should want to change it.
I'm sorry. I'm also driving. I'm a truck driver by trade, and
cool. Don't mention that you're don't mention that you're behind the wheel again. TikTok is sensitive.
Look, man, I got freedom of speech. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell me what to say.
I'm going to tell you what not to say if it can get my live flagged, and you can just do it or you can just hang up.
All right. Well, moving on. I wanted to ask you about Amy Coney Barrett
fucking weird.
and the recent release of the Supreme Court's rulings. Do you know what I'm talking about?
There's been a few Supreme Court rulings recently.
Okay. So you're familiar. We'll go over one or two of them specifically. Amy Coney Barrett, they were talking the ruling, and she was the one that gave the final say. You know, they all get together and they vote on it, and then one of them makes like the final statements. And the one that Amy Coney Barrett
The dissent?
was given the final,
The dissent?
Yes, she did dissent, but
What ruling are you referencing?
the ruling was, oh man, if you wouldn't ask me, I had it on my head like 3 seconds ago. I'm sorry. Give me a second here to think about that. But
You brought it up.
I think it was about the elections and
Mail-in voting?
yeah, the mail-in voting and how they can literally accept mail-in votes anytime before the election and anytime after the election.
Okay.
And the way that she wrote her final say on it was kind of contradictory in like how she said one thing and then she would like go back against it. And I was wondering what your opinion was on that, because that could leave it open to attack in the future. And I think it was a very good thing for the Democrats that they ruled the way that they did so that mail-in voting could continue. And me, as a truck driver, you know, I rely on that myself. Whoever I'm voting for, I kind of vote more on the person than I do on the party because, you know, in the end, they're all a uniparty.
What is your contention with her, I guess, majority opinion or dissent that she wrote on behalf of mail-in voting? What is your contention with what she said?
So, in one part of it, she said that we had, as America, we had a similar occurrence with issues with voting back in the 1800s, which led to the Civil War, and they said that there was going to be a specific day for voting to occur, be counted on, and be tallied for the final result. But then she said because that was so contentious and that was such a danger that we cannot have a day to do that, and we must allow it to be more open to where mail-in voting can be any time before and any time after the prescribed November X.
That's wrong.
So those, what?
What you just said was incorrect about the latter part of what you said about it going past election day is incorrect.
No,
She
they can
didn't say
accept
that.
they can accept mail-in votes after election day now.
No, you said the day by which the votes must be cast by. So the votes must be cast by election day, like on or before election day. So that means that with mail-in ballots, what happens? Please
But
let me
nobody's
finish, sir.
verifying that.
Sir,
I could
they
write
are
it
actually
in, and I could
verifying
say
that
that it's
because what?
November the 7th.
We would have dates
I would
on
like
it.
to
I wrote
finish
it in
my
November the
sentence.
10th, and nobody's
No, I truly would
verifying
like to
that,
finish my sentence.
and they would accept it under the way
We
that
literally
she
are
ruled.
able. We are
They would
literally able
accept
to
it.
tell the dates on the ballot,
But
and she
it's
needs to be able
because
to
of
finish her sentence.
postmarking. I would just like to be able
It
to
can
finish my
be
sentence
handwritten
without Jim Bob
postmarked.
interrupting.
In her
Hey,
ruling,
Jim.
it
Hey,
said it can
Jim.
be
Do you hear another
handwritten
voice talking
postmark.
to you, Jim? Jim, I was actually speaking, and I don't feel like raising my voice. I'm not in a mood.
Oh,
I
well,
literally
you
just want
asked
to be
me a
able to
question.
finish
I
my
thought you wanted me to
sentence.
answer it.
I wasn't asking you a question, sir.
Not the motherfucker hanging up.
You better skedaddle.
I was literally
Anywho,
just
he was
here.
wrong.
Yeah, clearly.
But because that's not what she said, Hector. I'll read exactly what it is that she
I
said.
was pulling it up here.
What she's Yeah, what she said is that federal laws setting a single election day leave open when those votes must be received. If varied deadlines for ballot receipts similarly call for a national solution, the American people must choose it through their elected representatives. That's all she said. That's literally all she said. And then she also said, in some, the election day statutes require the electorate's choice to be made on election day. That occurs so long as election day is the deadline for individuals to vote, as it is in Mississippi. But the election day statutes do not set a deadline for ballot receipt, so they do not prevent Mississippi from counting ballots postmarked before election day yet received afterward. The main word there is postmark. Postmark. That's it. That's all. That's it.
You know
She didn't contradict herself.
You know what the problem is, Erica?
I
Y'all
never will.
don't read.
W's in the chat to Christina for the $2 PayPal. Washington State is working on a single-payer healthcare system through ballot measure. WholeWashington.org. Check it out. Thanks. Oh, shout out to Washington. Shout out to Washington. Do I need to move? W's in the chat. W's in the chat to you. And W's in the chat to, I think that's Sean. Is that you, Sean? No, that Crow guy for the $9.99 super chat. The word grocery, it's a sort of simple word. It sort of means everything you eat. The stomach is speaking. It always does. Trump. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about that. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? You know what? Hold on. I have a perfect clip for this. King Robert, did you vote for Trump?
Well, I want to ask a question first.
No, you can answer mine first. Did you vote for Trump?
Okay. Yes, I did.
Wonderful. And do you regret your vote?
And I wanted to know, and I also wanted to ask if anybody in here agrees with President Trump when he said, that's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring and barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. So do you agree with President Trump on that?
I can't agree with a lot of the lies that he said, but the increase in Border Patrol agents hired is definitely a good thing.
Okay, do you want to know who said that?
I don't know, a Democrat?
Yep.
Who was it?
That was Bill Clinton. And
Okay.
Obama said that when he's forced to use, and Obama said when he's forced to use a translator, he feels frustrated. He also says, when I see Mexican flags
You think
waved,
I give a fuck about the frustration of a guy for using a goddamn translator? We literally have translators. You press a mic button, you put it up to someone's mouth, and the language they're speaking into the phone, it can come right back out in English on the other end. Translating is easier than ever. I don't give a fuck about a boomer's perspective on the task.
But you don't care about
what
what
a
Obama
stupid fucking
But
point.
how can you say, do you agree with what someone said when
Opening
there's
up with
no
Trump.
stats to actually back it up?
What do you mean?
That doesn't make it sense. You attributed the quote. You attributed the quote first to Trump,
Right.
and then asked Hector, does he agree with what he said?
Right.
But you don't have any, you didn't provide any data to
What do you mean?
back it up. So how can you say that?
What do you
Why would
mean?
you ask if he agrees?
So the only thing I do know for sure is that we
That's
have
just
had a
stupid.
record amount of Border Patrol agents hiring under the Trump administration. That is a fact, which is why I can easily agree with that. And ultimately, if you want to talk about border security, then yes, that's a good thing that he hired more. However, that's a great thing, which is exactly why I supported Democrat support for S4361, which Trump had Republicans shut down the Senate in 2024. So once again, this supports the claim that you shut down something so you can run off of it and take the accolades as you actively fought against that same thing taking place under Democratic rule. Really quickly, this is just what I wanted to play in light of what that super chat we just said, when they want to talk about Kamala Harris can't finish sentences, but Donald Trump's a rambling buffoon. This is how Trump sounds to me. All right, this is it. Hold on, let me find my clip. This is just a funny, y'all. This is just a funny.
How much more do you want from me?
More.
How much more successful do you want me to be?
More successful.
How many records can my records break?
More records.
But I'm the best.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
What the does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
You're welcome.
What the is he talking about?
I feel like Kanye every time. I feel like Kanye every time Trump talks. Anyway, back to this guy. Only one of those things were absolutely true, and we have verified data to support the claim. The rest of it would be, I don't know, ramblings of boomers that I don't give a shit about and ultimately don't serve the American people.
Well, Obama also said, don't send your children to the borders. If they do make it, they'll get sent back. And more importantly, they may not make it.
Okay.
So I'm saying is that do you support that?
Can you give me something Donald Trump said, actually?
With regards to the border?
I don't know. You opened up with Donald Trump sayings, and then you just decided to bring up Democrats in some attempt to give a got you, as if we don't disagree with some of our older establishment Democrat positions, particularly in regards to the task of translating from a different language.
Right. Are you talking about a quote from President Trump, or how about things where he said there were 14 months of, quote, zero releases at the southern border?
You tried to see if I would agree with things that Trump said. Maybe you should mention something Trump said. Or do you not have anything?
I just told you.
That he said there's what?
He was talking about how that, in other words, in the past, where, you would have people that would, stay in our country. And I guess what he's saying is that true. And then also revoking the visas of the people who are.
What was the quote that you said?
He was saying, for example, the Remain in Mexico program.
You said something about 14 months of no releases. That's what you said. You said Donald Trump had a quote about that.
Right. It's centered on, quote, zero releases at the southern border. Yeah.
We would have no data to support that claim.
Well, how much data do you need?
Data. What do you mean? How much data? Data. You say something, there needs to be something that supports what your argument is. Otherwise, I have zero reason to believe it, especially from the president who has the most recorded lies out of anyone.
Oh, most recorded lies. And where are you getting your data from? Most recorded lies.
Where am I getting my data from? Easy. CBP.gov.
How many lies?
In immigration, CBP.gov. The way that we had zero encounters, that lie that they touted around, and every single month that would contradict it, especially during 2025, nationwide encounters, literally saw, more encounters in the last 3 months of 2025 than the first 9 months combined. That data, I can prove that on CBP.gov right now. Can you give me some source that proves that there were zero encounters? Can you give me some source that shows we had 14 months of not letting anyone into the country?
Again, these same. Well, why don't look on CBP.gov? Why don't you? What part of CBP.gov did you find this on?
CBP.gov/encounters.
It's your claim.
Yeah, I made my claim, but I'm waiting for yours.
What's your claim, Hector?
Oh, mine. That the last 3 months of 2025, the encounter rate was more than the first 9 combined. CBP.gov/encounters. I can show it up and I can pull it up in 0.2 seconds. The problem is he's been making a bunch of claims here and he hasn't been able to substantiate any of them. And when we asked him to, his response was, well, how much data do you need?
That's an odd question. I was like, because I felt like he had made a claim in regards to that there had been none. So I was just confused. That's all. I just wanted to see, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, they're very confusing people.
And I guess you trust the government on everything.
What?
I'm saying
what? That's going to be your argument.
You're using the website. You trust the government with everything they say?
The website that
Prove
reports the data, not just a headline, not just an article of rhetoric. We have posted numbers, or in some cases, we don't have numbers for some of the allegations that they're making, because when it comes to job growth or unemployment and inflation, we had some months missing last year, didn't we, Erica?
Yep. Yes, we did.
Well, I mean, I was trying to get your stat. It said, according to CBP, it said recorded historically low interaction and enforcement numbers.
I'm so sorry, but didn't you just question why we are trusting the government, and then you go on to quote
I was trying to find his data. Erica.
Of what I just said?
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Singer. I don't know why I have that song stuck in my head, but I do. I'm so confused. Like, exactly, Bree. Are you? I'm very confused. So, do you want us to use government sources or no?
I'm just
You
trying to
want us to
find
pull data from government sources or no? Like, what do you want us to do?
Oh, I didn't know you were the co-host. Are you the co-host also?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So you just have one person?
Can you see what's on the screen here?
It says Erica, Shante, Hector talks.
The big
This motherfucker
chart.
is stupid.
The big chart here, my guy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't see this.
Thank you, Peach, my love. Drop some hearts for Peach.
Really small. That's
cool. I'll make it big really quickly. Doom, 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 doom.
Okay, so that's
boom, 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 boom. Is that kind of blurry for everyone else too? Kind of. It's a little bit blurry.
Yeah, I can still make it out. It's fine.
That's fair. Cool. We'll make this quick because I think TikTok's going to flag me in a second for this. So let's start with January of 2025, which would be here. Encounters 81,479, whatever, mix of Biden. February 28,613. March 29,013. April 29,197. May 29,470. June 25,185. July 24,589. August 26,162. September 26,002. October 30,635. November 30,000. No, I'm tripping. That's for year to date. 2025 here. October 142,742. November 124,972. December 124,482. So you're going to notice that sharp increase of encounters nationwide in the last 3 months of the first year of Trump's term. If you do the math on the first 9 months compared to the last 3, you will see that the last 3 combined are more than the first 9 months. Literally what I said. And this is proven on cbp.gov/newsroom/stats/nationwide encounters by month. Data.
okay. So would you say there's been more or less illegal border crossings under Trump versus Biden?
No. This is the part where you guys should have pulled this. There's less, so he's better, and all this crap. I need you to prove one claim that you've made with data.
Right, I'm saying so. But you agreed with me, so I don't see. We're not arguing about anything.
I didn't agree with anything that you just said. What did I agree with? Where did you hear the agreement?
I thought you said that you agreed that there were fewer border crossings under President Trump versus President Biden.
No, I didn't say that. But I mean, there were, but that's not what I said.
Oh, okay. What did you say?
Do you have are you listening?
I am listening.
Clearly not.
Okay, so what did you say? Why don't you repeat that so we can all hear it?
I said this is the part where you try to play the game of overall Trump just had less, so he's better. That's what I said.
Oh, okay. But would you agree there were fewer border crossings under President Trump versus
I can't agree with something we can't prove. Encounters aren't crossings.
Well, encounters means you're just interacting with somebody, perhaps sending them back. But the point, a crossing would be where somebody illegally stays in this country.
I'm sorry. Are you alleging that an encounter is witnessing or interacting with someone trying to cross the border illegally and letting them in?
Not letting them in. In other words, just sending them back.
Right. So an encounter would be Border Patrol agent. Thank you, Kitty, for the gifts. And thank you, everyone, for the gifts. I probably missed a few. A Border Patrol agent witnessing, apprehending a person trying to enter the country illegally and turning them back. That would be the definition of an encounter. We do not have any way to track a quote unquote crossing. We can only do estimates.
So in your impression, do you believe based on any data you could have inferred, you're saying that there's no way to show how many illegal border crossings there were under any president?
Nope, there's no way to definitively prove that. Absolutely not. W's in the chat to Above Infinity for the $10 super chat. Robert strikes me as the zip then fasten type. No wonder his equipment is so lacking, which would explain his cope laughing when corrected. W's in the chat to you. W's in the chat to Wesley, $55 super chat. This caller listens to respond, not to comprehend. This kind of mental gymnastics gives me a headache. Hope this helps for the Boba Fund. Much love. You know what? I do need a Boba tonight. I may get one. W's in the chat to y'all. I do want to make sure I didn't miss one over here. W's in the chat to Melanie for the $5 Venmo. Robert sucks at this. Can you please tell him I hate him? I think he heard you, Melanie. I think he heard you, Melanie. W's in the chat to you. Guys, the best way to support the platform is going to be the links in the bio. Please feel free to also take care of Erica while she's up here. Let's get her coins above 1,000 and then make sure you're hitting up her links in the bio as well. And clear our gift galleries. She has a gift gallery as well. If you guys want to knock that out, and please feel free to check out mine in the top left corner. I had another thing. It'll come back to me. So back to you. The argument that the border is more secure under Donald Trump is not something that I can substantiate through numbers. The best you can do is estimates. Many of those estimates I have no reason to trust or ultimately irrelevant to the conversation. Because if there was a record amount of what absolutely was, we know based off of the encounters at least, of a record amount of encounters at the southern border, and some of those people slipped through the cracks and got into the United States, none of that would support the claim that the Trump administration is touting around, which is that they're stealing jobs, robbing Americans from benefits that they don't qualify from, or harming us physically. We do not have the rates, the conviction rates, the arrest rates, the conviction rates to support the claims that you guys are making. We do not have mass prosecutions of undocumented migrants benefiting from programs that they were never allowed to, or at least haven't been allowed to since 1996. And we absolutely don't have any record of them doing all this mass amounts of fraud.
Well, so it says on June 19th, 2026, this is DHS.gov. Today, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security and U.S. Customs and Border Protection announced 13 consecutive months of zero releases at the border, continuing the unprecedented trend of historically low border crossings.
What does that mean, a release at the border?
Well, maybe you should look that up.
You said it. What does that mean?
I'm gonna say I'm really reading what the.
Do you often read things you can't interpret or comprehend? You read it. It means something. That's the whole reason you cited it. What does it mean?
Yeah, what does it mean?
It says, in other words, catch and release are over. In other words, it's supposed to just, allowing somebody to
catch and release has been over.
Come into the country and sending illegal aliens back to their own country.
No, but the thing is that catch and release has been over. It's been over for quite a few years now. It's not a thing. So what would be the purpose of saying that they captured someone at the border and then released them into the United States of America if catch and release is no longer the policy at the border? That doesn't make any sense. Like, what is happening?
Right. It says they're not releasing. Well, in answer to your question, it says they're not releasing undocumented migrants into the U.S. interior. Instead, they are deporting them.
That would literally be violating the law if those undocumented migrants are trying to claim asylum, for one thing. But go ahead, Erica.
Yeah, but because you don't deport people at the border. You expel people at the border. Right, so that means that you don't let them in to the United States of America. That's what that means. That's why this is very confusing for you to quote that. All right.
Right.
For you to do that.
Yeah.
The Trump administration doesn't utilize the action of catch and release. So that it's just not a thing.
So Erica, when did it end? When did catch and release?
When did Biden end catch and release, Hector? Was it 2022 or 2023?
If I'm not mistaken, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So what would be the thing? Actually, it was February of 2021. Actually,
thank you for that.
Well,
my apologies.
And I also have one where they said it ended on January 20th of 2025. So
where do you have one? Because Biden signed an executive order in February of 2020 that revoked, the practice of catch and release and releasing people back into there. All right. And what they're saying is that Biden all right, actually allow people to come into the United States of America, and that Trump is the one that stopped that one from happening in January of 2025.
Also, let me correct myself. 2023, I was thinking of
Yeah.
Title 42 specifically, which Biden fought to uphold before then.
So January 20th of 2025 is.
So January of 2025 is when Biden stopped the releases into the United States. Not Biden, Trump stopped the releases into the United States of America. But if he stopped it in January of 2025, then what's the date of the press release that you're reading?
It said there was a CBP memorandum that went out on January 20th of 2025.
No, friend, that's not what I'm asking you. You just read something about 0 releases into the United States of America over a period of time. What I'm asking you is, what is the date on that press release that you read from? What is the date?
Okay, I'll read it again. It says January 20th, 2025.
So this would have been an executive order that Donald Trump passed.
What is Hector? Am I asking the wrong question?
No.
You read out loud to us, all right? When you read out loud to us that said that they have had a period of time where there were 0 releases into the United States of America, all right? And Hector asked you, what does that mean? That one right there, whatever web page, whatever you were reading from, piece of paper, what is the date on it?
Are you talking about the 0 catch and release? Oh, I mean, you mean the one I was reading earlier is what I heard you saying.
Am I speaking English?
You know, you
Am
don't
I
have
speaking English, Hector?
you don't have to be rude.
I do. I am. I am.
You don't have to be rude.
I'm not
And
being rude. It's just
obviously
like
you
it
are.
feels like you are just
You're being
being
rude, and
like
I'm not being rude to
purposely
you.
obtuse.
I'm not saying. Yeah, I'm not
Because
saying.
I said it 3 times. I literally said it 3 times.
Okay.
I said article. I said press release.
Okay, so the press release,
What's the date of it?
June 19th of 2026.
Thank you. We appreciate you so very much. So the whole point of this would be is, if Donald Trump ended a policy in January of 2025 and decided that his Customs and Border Patrol agents would no longer practice releasing people into the United States of America while they wait for asylum or whatever it is that they do, all right? What is the purpose of touting that you haven't done it? It's not your internal policy. Say what one more time. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Say what one more motherfucking time. Okay. But like, what would be the purpose of them like touting that as a win if it's not a policy or action that this administration actually practices? It doesn't make sense.
Can't end something that wasn't happening beforehand.
No, it says
goddamn
13 straight months of 0 releases at the border. Again, I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Okay, let me help you out. What we're getting at is the Trump administration says a lot of things, even puts it into like legal writing through executive order and whatever else. And there's nothing to back up or support the things that they put or passed. That's the damn point. You can't end something that wasn't happening beforehand.
Can't end something that wasn't. Okay.
God bless you.
Thank you for the finger heart, Shaylu. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much.
Like for example, if I never let my kid watch YouTube, right, Hector? Bubba don't watch YouTube. Okay. So he never watches YouTube. Can I then be like, hey guys, 13 straight months of Bubba never watching YouTube? Like, what are we celebrating? The boy ain't never watched it anyways.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? What are we celebrating? I don't let him do it. So then what are we doing?
If I say I ended a certain group of people being able to vote in our festivals, and then there's nothing to show that they were doing that in mass, then
What am I celebrating if I say, "Hey, we had we had a festival without any undocumented immigrants voting"? That doesn't make any sense.
if I sign an executive order to stop trans people from playing in sports, but then they're still allowed to play in sports unless I guess the state, because it's ultimately at the state level, passes their own laws to negate it, then I didn't do anything. His executive orders in many cases are performative and in language alone support the stuff that you guys say, but in actual practicality does fuck all.
Well, I was going to say is that regardless, there is the border is more secure. There are fewer deaths in this country.
Define secure.
As in fewer crossings.
You have no metric that you can use to show crossings. So you can't say there's fewer crossings. You can only believe that. And what do you mean fewer deaths? What were the deaths from undocumented migrants from 2024 compared to 2025? I take it you don't have those numbers, do you?
Pulled up. I was going to actually discuss fentanyl, but okay.
Can't say that substance up here. But also, that wasn't my question.
You're saying have fewer people died from illegal immigrants?
You said that there are fewer deaths when we were talking about undocumented migrants. I asked you if you have any numbers to compare 2024 deaths by the hands of undocumented migrants to 2025 deaths.
That I missed that.
Oh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Dub is in the chat to Mr. Mike for the $2 Venmo. It's very funny that once you guys clock this shit, now he starts to be disingenuous. It's common. Eric and I, we're not new to this. Dub is in the chat to you, Mike. Dub is in the chat to you. So why do you support Trump?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking to myself?
No, I'm talking to Erica.
Ah.
Well, he's the best president ever.
Stop it.
So great.
Please.
He does everything he said he's going to do.
Why are you like this?
Everything.
God damn it.
Everything.
I hate it here.
Yep.
Well,
that's why he's the best president ever, because he's so strong and tough. He's a real man. Rawr.
Well, I would say something that happened in the District of Columbia was they had a large decrease in the number of murders in the District of Columbia.
So did Baltimore. So did New York City.
God bless you.
Crime has been on a downward trend since 2020.
Well, it depends how you're also defining crime, too. In other
Violent
words, some
crime and other ones as well.
Well, we've also had...
Actually, hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll just fucking pull it up.
Well, here are some statistics that you don't need to pull up. I mean, for example, the mayor of the District of Columbia was all bent out of shape when he wanted to pull the National Guard. But 96% of the murders in the District of Columbia are of African Americans, although they only make up 42% of the population.
I'm sorry, what?
I said 42% of the population of the District of Columbia approximately is African American. However, they make up 96% of the murders in the district.
For that?
You want me to pull it up? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, crime statistics. Okay, you can look it up yourself too, but I'll pull it up. Like I said, I don't have I'm doing this from memory versus pulling it up.
Yeah, I don't care for your memory. Your memory is clear.
Okay, well, anyway, here you go. It says, Metropolitan Police District crime data. According to Metropolitan Police District crime data, black residents historically account for 90 to 97% of homicide victims.
Victims?
Yes. I'm reading this, so.
What's your point?
So President Trump was trying to save people in the District of Columbia by sending in the National Guard. And who was he trying to save? If 97% of the murders are African American, who was he helping out?
I'm sorry. I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. Did you say that 42% of the population commit 90% of the murders, or did you say 42% of the population are 90% of the victims of murder?
Probably neither. What I said is that African Americans make up approximately 42% of the population of the District of Columbia.
What was the other thing you said? The 90% that you said?
Somebody said perpetrators.
I could have sworn. You know what? Okay. Never mind. Playback.
He could have said victims, but
platform. Please feel free to do so with the links in your bio. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Hector talks with. What was the other thing you said? The 90% that you said.
I can repeat it if you want. You want me to pull it up? Okay.
Yeah. Crime has been on a downward trend since 2020.
Well, it depends how you're also defining crime, too.
In other words, some crime and other ones as well.
Well, we've also had...
Actually, hold on. I'll pull it up. I'll just fucking pull it up.
Well, here are some statistics that you don't need to pull up. I mean, for example, the mayor of the District of Columbia was all bent out of shape when he wanted to pull the National Guard. But 96% of the murders in the District of Columbia are of African Americans. Yes. Although they only make up 42% of the population of the District of Columbia.
Of the murders are of. Okay, so you'd be referencing them as victims. I love how I repeated that back to you, and you said neither. My fucking God. Okay. Victims.
You did repeat it back.
I literally did, and he said neither. So victims, not perpetuators. Just wanted to be clear. Either way, okay. What is the point of bringing that up?
Okay, and 96% of the 96% of the murders, who are the murderers of those 96%?
You want to get to your point?
Who? What do we do?
The answer is approximately the same number, about 96%, somewhere in that area. So
did you find that on your website there? Apparently.
So who was President saving by sending in the National Guard into Washington, D.C.? Whose lives was he saving?
People.
No one's. Whose lives was he saving? No one's. Did murder still happen in DC in 2025 after August of 2025?
Of course it did.
It did? Oh, okay. How come Donald Trump didn't save all those people's lives?
Can he save everybody?
How many of those people were black?
Can he save everybody?
I just want to know.
Buddy.
I'm sorry, why are you trying to answer a question with a question? I'm very confused.
Saying, can he save everybody? And the answer is no, he can't save everybody. I'm sure he would like to, but he can't.
Why are you asking yourself questions? I'm confused. What's happening?
He may have lied. I'm double checking this.
96% of homicide suspects are African American, according to DC.gov.
Can you do me a favor? Can you name the neighborhoods that the National Guard is in DC?
Am I supposed to? I don't know. I can't.
This is the gun. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's fine. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say this is the Gun Violence Problem Analysis Summary Report issued in December of 2021. What that specifically cites is 96% of victims and suspects in both homicides and non-fatal shootings were black. So this is referencing gun violence specifically. And this would be 5 years out of date.
So, because the thing is with DC is that DC has been experiencing a decrease in gun violence, and when not gun, I don't want to say even say gun violence, say homicides. All right, have been experiencing a decrease in homicides since 2003. Prior to that, they had been on an up and down trajectory since
Are
about
you
2015.
right? Are you aware
And
that they fired?
2023, I wasn't finished talking. That's crazy.
Okay.
In 2023, it did reach a peak of 274. And in 2024, it came down by 32%, by 32%. And then guess what happened? In 2025, it came down by another 32%. We cannot attribute that to Donald Trump if they were already on decline due to the policy and reinforcement shifts that they had implemented themselves. So that's why I'm saying you can't attribute this to Donald Trump, especially because they're not in the neighborhoods. All right. The Durham National Guard is around like the National Mall, around the White House, around that area. Is not within the neighborhoods of DC.
That is correct. W's in the chat to politics with Matt for the $5 Venmo. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Apparently, both of those things are true if we're just saying shit we believe instead of things that are factual.
Well,
yeah, there's
aware
that.
that
W's in the
Smith-
chat to Mike for the $2 Venmo. Am I wrong? But didn't Donald Trump send them into Washington, D.C. to protect the buildings? They didn't stop any crime because they can't investigate crime. Am I wrong? Ultimately, the National Guard being in D.C. is just a show of force. And in fact, there are reports of them harassing people around, or citizens around the state, and then tearing up homeless encampments to clean up the city. And then I think there's a whole conversation I want to pivot to after we're done with this about how now he was able to call them, but that other time period he wasn't. But I digress. Go ahead.
Are you aware that Chief Pamela Smith of the District of Columbia's police department had to resign in 2025 because she deliberately manipulated and misclassified crime statistics to artificially lower crime numbers and make the city appear safer?
Is there a conviction for that? Or was it the allegation made?
How do you skew homicide data?
What was her
how
name?
Do you
Good point. Question.
Pamela Smith.
Pamela Smith. Go ahead.
How do you skew homicide data?
You can say that he died of lead poisoning.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, 32 bullet wounds to his back. It must have been suicide.
How do you skew homicide data? Now, assault, okay, you can skew assault data. I'll give you that. All right, you can do that. But homicide, how? I want to answer.
It's a good question. Why don't you should ask Pamela Smith, but in any way, she also...
She didn't know. Prove to us that because this is your claim.
Okay.
Prove to us that she skewed the homicide data that we've already gone over. How do you skew those numbers? When someone's dead, there's dead. All right. And if someone actually unalived them, they unalived them. That means it's a homicide. Whether it be negligent homicide, manslaughter, whatever, second degree, third degree, it doesn't matter what kind of homicide it is murder. All right, it's homicide. So by all means, sir.
Well,
please.
it just said that she also said
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want you to prove to us that she skewed the data for homicides.
Yeah, this is an allegation made by the Oversight Committee. Of course, it was sponsored by James Comer. And this was based off some interviews that they did with some people where they said this. There's nothing that was specifically cited, and none of this led to an actual investigation.
Well, violent assaults were reclassified to minor nonviolent offenses.
Yeah,
I don't care about violent assault. Sir, how do you, all right, skew the number of people who have died by homicide? I specifically quoted the numbers for homicides in Washington, D.C. I'm looking right at them. I have them from 2010 to 2025. Can you please tell us how they skewed those numbers? If that is one of the reasons why she resigned, then you have no issue with providing us that information. You can prove it. If you can't prove that, just say that you can't.
Well, I mean, is it my job to look up every little fact on
It
every?
actually is. When you have a claim about something, it is. And the reason why it is your responsibility to do so is so that you can substantiate, back up, validate, all right, anything it is that you say here, Bobby.
And they just said they misclassified serious crimes. They were audited 6,000 incidents.
I didn't hear the word. I didn't hear the word homicide or murder in there. So if you don't have that one, because that's what we were talking about, because you are the one that brought up homicide victims. You brought it up.
Right.
You wanted to talk about, all right, black people being saved by Donald Trump. That's why the National Guard is there. You brought this up. So you brought up the fact that Pamela resigned. I want you, all right, to give us something, please, that shows that she fudged the homicide numbers. By all means, I know you can do it.
I also want to add on to this point really quickly that she wasn't nominated until July of 2023. So the decline that we saw after 2019, 2020 would still be consistent with how DC handled crime in their city.
Okay. Would you argue that they have gone down recently? You can say, yeah, they were going down. Maybe
I feel like she asked you a very specific question. I don't know why you've been incapable of answering it.
Well, how could she have skewed the numbers? That's what I heard. Correct? And I guess the best answer for you is I don't know right now. But
because it didn't happen, you can't skew homicide numbers because a homicide is a homicide is a homicide. The person's dead. You can't fake someone dying.
True.
Right,
but
let's be so freaking serious here.
But you can reclassify how they died.
You can so what are they doing? Reclassifying them all as suicides? Okay, then show us that the suicide numbers went up. Show us something. Show us something, please.
The numbers went up.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You can't do that. You can't do it. Remember, this is your argument. You made the claims. You made the argument. This is all you. And now you don't want to substantiate anything. And all that you want to do, all right, is muddy the waters with your opinion. No one cares about your opinion, bro.
Bro?
I'm sorry, Bobby. I meant Bobby. No one cares about your opinions, Bobby.
And that's not my name either, but okay. But in any case, Erica, as
my
far
apologies, Dick.
Oh, you want to go name calling? Is that what you like to do?
Oh, wait. Richard is the one that gets called Dick. My bad.
That's
I'm sorry about that. It's Richard that they call Dick. I always wonder how they got Dick from Richard.
I looked into it
It
before.
never made any sense.
It's a long
story.
Thing. It still doesn't make any goddamn sense to me. I just wanted him to answer my question of why he supports Trump, because he can't prove a goddamn thing other than allegations and rambling and everything else. I just need you to tell me why you support Trump now.
I already told you.
Because you opened up the panel, or you started off the conversation with just asking questions, and we never got into the nitty gritty. The reasons you cited so far, we've already unpacked. So you want to give us something substantial?
I already did. I think I told you about the low border crossings,
which we don't have.
The lower murder rates across the country, the murder rates at a historically
low.
Which we
cannot contribute to Donald Trump's policies in any way, shape, or form, even
but
in the example that you gave of DC.
But yet, if it had gone up, would you have blamed him for it?
If there was a policy that can tie to violent crime going up, then yeah. No different from how I will not contribute violent crime going down to Donald Trump and his policies, outside of, again, feelings of a National Guard presence in the city stopping people from doing said crimes. What did I miss over here? Who is this person?
Call from.
Call you on the line, hold for a moment. All the things that you're citing would be things we can also use to support a downward trend or to show the downward trend, not just in D.C., but across the United States under the Biden-Harris administration. And I don't imagine that you think that his policies or the policies of Democratic cities were tough on crimes. One of the reasons why I responded with Baltimore specifically, which saw a 50% reduction in those crimes just via community policing, not the militarization of them. So, waiting for your point.
No, I'm just going to say that once again, is that murders have continued to go down. Crime has gone down significantly to a 100-year low in the United States. And you asked me why I supported
Are you missing the fucking point that I keep making time and time again? Point towards a Trump policy that has supported what you're saying, especially considering that the same things were happening under Joe Biden.
As far as deaths, I would say, for one thing, the fact that there have been fewer border crossings, also the fact that there's been a lot more fentanyl that has been seized.
You literally keep saying the same damn thing you cannot even track. And there's also record amounts of that substance you really got to stop fucking bringing up that was caught under the Biden administration as well. So he would just be continuing what the United States was already doing, is responsible to do, and hit record lows or highs under the previous administration.
So you're saying is that Biden had a record number of seizures of fentanyl at the border?
Stop saying
that
the
word,
fucking word. TikTok is sensitive. Terms of service.
Oh, you can't say the F word? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can't say fentanyl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he wants you to drop him.
He wants. He's
trying to run. He a pussy.
Yeah. He wanted to be dropped.
Thank you all so much. Yeah, he was a bad word. I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah, he wanted to get me flagged and he wanted to run. Guys, there's this thing called slur to run. Granted, he didn't slur, but there's certain words that you say on TikTok, and when you say it, especially back to fucking back, it will flag your live. So that's what he wanted to have done, because he realized he was backed into a corner. That was embarrassing. Really quickly, since we didn't get to play the drop song, I apologize.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
He didn't technically run, but he fucking ran. Big W's in the chat. God damn. Big W's in the chat to Kitty Cat for the $50 Venmo. Shut your bitch ass up, Bobby.
Bruh.
Kitty Cat said what she said. That has to be one of the most embarrassing, like, you know what bothers me about that? I'm going to be honest with you. We deal with a lot of people on a daily basis, and they say a lot of stupid shit. And it's one thing because it's just like, oh, you feel sorry for them. What was so insulting about that guy specifically is because he thought he was smart. He thought he had something. He kept trying to pull these little got yous, opening up like Trump said this, but actually it was Obama, thinking that we wouldn't disagree with some of this shit. Like, I love it when you guys do that. You guys think I agree with every damn thing Obama did? Erica will be the first to get into but specifically she talks about his position overseas. Especially, we have issues even with that he did with immigration. Absolutely have issues with his push for universal health care. Compliments to the ACA, but he did cower down from universal health care to the ACA.
He was supposed to stand on business.
So
he was supposed to stand on business.
I don't know why you guys think that's such a W. Unlike y'all, we don't worship politicians. We don't follow every single thing that they say or do. If anything, we really haven't had a single candidate that would serve my liking at all on the Democratic side. Everyone gets a little bit more, but none of them actually are for what the fuck I want.
I have 2 thank yous.
Okay.
Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Mike, for the $5. Mr. Mike said, love you, queen. Please stay you. Thank you, Mr. Mike. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you. Please draw some hearts in the chat for Mr. Mike. And also, Mark sent 5. And Mark, as soon as he dropped, this is when I got the notification. But Mark said the DC statistic is misleading because it turns identified suspects into proven perpetrators and treats a tiny, highly concentrated network as representative of Black DC residents. Generally, it describes where violence is concentrated, not the criminality of an entire population. Exactly. That's why someone said that, like in the comments, someone said that plurality DC is Black, and I said, yeah, but in regards to where Black people live, all right, that is concentrated. And the National Guard is not there. But that is where they target. When crime happens, that is where they target. And so I'm like, what are we doing here? Anywho, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to go to law school.
It's the worst.
Or
law school as well.
A statistician class or something.
Really quickly, I did not see enough W's in the chat to Kitty because Kitty single-handedly got him up out the paint and saved my ears from bleeding any further. So can we get several fucking hundred W's in the chat to Kitty, please? Can we see some W kitties, some W kitties, some W kitties? And took care of Erica's Galaxies. What the fuck are we doing? We show more appreciation around here. What are we, maggots?
Marry me, Kitty.
We show more appreciation around here.
Bowl of Frosted Flakes.
I make some pretty good turkey pinwheels.
What the heck is a turkey pinwheel?
You never seen them? Like the little...
What do you mean, a wrappy thing?
Yeah, and then you roll it up and you cut it in circles. Pinwheels. We call them turkey pinwheels. Yeah, that shit's fire. I make spaghetti pinwheels.
I don't like those. You know why? They get soggy.
Well, yeah, you got to eat them.
Because of the wrap thing? Ooh, that makes me so bothered. I can't stand soggy bread. Like, soggy... Ugh.
I use them little.
I even
little
like my rice farm.
Yeah. Hector, that is not cooking. But I know that was a joke. That was a point. I cook, but it ain't that. Hector, are you married with kids?
Me and Katie getting married on the 21st of September.
No, I'm not married. I do not have children. No.
They keep wishing that life for you, friend.
I don't know why. Oh. I don't know why. I'm married to the game, y'all. I'm married to politics. I'm in a committed relationship with the political mess that is the United States and our government. And that's, it's going strong. Stressful at times, but it's going strong. Trump supporters request up in the box. You're the demographic of people I'd like to have a Oh, we have somebody on hold. Shit. Calling on the line. Did you vote for Trump?
Why did I vote for him? Because
did you vote for Trump?
Israel. Hello?
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Oh, yes, I did.
Is this the part where you say that you support him because he supports Israel?
Yep.
So you're a single issue voter?
Not necessarily, no, but that's one of my major ones.
Got you. So I want you to give me a reason as to why I shouldn't hang up the call on you right now.
I mean, you can if you want to. I called in for a discussion.
Yeah, I asked you to give me a reason. Right, yeah. Give me a reason.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not about to, if you want to have the discussion, we can have it. I'm not about to sit here.
Okay, cool. Fuck Zionist.
What is there to debate with a Zionist anyways?
Exactly. What the fuck was I supposed to debate with him?
You're not about to change your position.
If you
want
support...
me to change your mind?
If you support the state of Israel, you support the genocide happening. You support the I think it may be upwards of 80,000, but the last confirmed number I saw, over 60,000 Palestinians dead, most being women and children. You support the displacement of them, over 80 now. Code. I just want to be sure because I didn't see the 80. I just want to be sure. Thank you. You support the displacement of them into places like Sudan, where there's an active slave trade. You support the ability for their inability to be able to claim asylum here or become refugees in the United States because Donald Trump restricted that access. You support the billions of dollars we're sending to them for offensive weaponry to continue to do the damn shit to support their infrastructure. Meanwhile, people here are struggling and starving, and we're passing the largest tax cuts ever to the 1% we've seen in United States history. You fucking support AIPAC influencing all of our elections and ultimately not serving us, but the interests of a foreign nation and the president of the United States who ran off of America first, being Israel first. Why the fuck would I engage in a conversation with you?
Ain't nothing to talk about. I want to tell you something.
Goddamn thing to talk about. Yes.
It was yesterday or Tuesday. I can't remember which day, but yesterday or Tuesday, House Democrats, Massey put forth an amendment to the reconciliation bill that they're trying to do now. It's called Recon 3.0 because it'll be their third reconciliation bill that they're trying to pass. The one with the SAVE Act in it, right? The Save America Act in it. But this budget bill is actually for the Pentagon, right? So the Department of Defense. Here's the deal. Massey put forth an amendment that said that I forgot the name is foreign something that the money comes from, but he put forth this amendment that said no money from such and such bill shall go towards Israel. If passed, like this bill will be this budget or whatever would be reduced by 330 billion. So what ended up happening is that 98 Democrats in the House voted for the amendment, and 103 voted for it. But the thing is that those who still voted against it, I'm sorry, but those who still voted for it, they were touting it as a win because it's more Democrats are taking a stand against Israel, saying that we shouldn't fund Israel, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. But when you listen to their quotes about it, if you can pull some up, that'd be cool. But when you listen to their quotes about it, like what Pelosi said, it was another woman who said something. It's performative. It's so fucking performative. It's like they're just doing it because it's like this is the thing to do right now. Like this is the hip shit to do. Just like putting on a dashiki in 2020 was the hip thing to do. You know what I mean? Like all of them should have, and Thomas Massey, of course, was the lone Republican to vote in favor of it. Like they all should have voted in favor of it.
There's some names. Why is the Zionist calling
God
back?
bless you.
The fuck?
What does he want?
So there's people like Greg Kazar, which I mean he's in the progressive caucus.
Yeah, him in Texas.
Yeah, he's always been consistent on his rhetoric, so his statement makes sense. The American people are crying out for an end to U.S. tax dollars subsidizing Israel's military. At a time when millions are struggling to make ends meet, we're sending billions of dollars to a military that has killed tens of thousands of civilians. That makes sense, but I'm trying to look for some more. House Affairs. House Republicans pushing forward. Driver wedge. Party split. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries said in a Tuesday Dear Colleague letter, told his members that leadership was not whipping against the amendment. Rather, he would vote no because it is overly broad and would hinder humanitarian aid efforts, the resettling of refugees, and hamstring efforts to target violent extremist groups like Hamas. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck. I can't fucking wait to get Hakeem out of there. I can't fucking stand Hakeem Jeffries.
He's up for re-election, right?
I don't remember if he was or not. Let me double check. I think he is.
I hope so. I know Booker is, and he ran unopposed in Jersey.
Jeffries.
Okay, I had read it from the Hill. Here we go. Okay.
Well, he won back in 2024, so no.
So he's not up.
Yeah.
So 10 Democrats, the 10 Democratic House reps voted present. Amy Barra out of California, Chantel Brown out of Ohio, Janelle Bynum out of Oregon, Sarah Elfreth out of Maryland, Jared Huffman out of California, Betty McCollum out of Minnesota, Kelly Morrison, Minnesota, Chris Pappas, New Hampshire, Linda Sanchez, California, and Mike Thompson, California. So instead of taking a stand, they decided to just be present. And it's $3.3 billion, and it's from the Foreign Military Financing Program is where it's from.
Thank you guys for the follows. I appreciate you. Debbie's in chat to Wesley for the $5 super chat. I think the old hat Dems are becoming worried about their jobs too, because the country has reached the realization that we shouldn't fund Israel. And that's ultimately her point. That's my point. There's a lot of people we're going to see in rhetoric mostly now start to criticize Israel support more. We've seen that a ton. Let's look at Wes Moore. And I don't like to pick at the few black officials that we have, but oh my God, he pissed me off. This man did an interview where he was asked point blank about what was taking place in the region. He just kept saying, I think they should be investigated for war crimes. Absolutely. And it's like, would you call it a genocide? Blah, blah, blah. Word salad, word salad, word salad. You know, war crimes. So we should absolutely look into that. Like, they run from that fucking word, and it bothers me. It bothers me to my core.
Call it what it is.
Call it what it is. And yeah, there's a lot of people who are only changing their tune because we are calling for them to do so. But I truly believe if it wasn't for that outrage, a lot of these folks would not say a goddamn thing, which is exactly why all these people need to get voted out. Let me be clear. I'm for cleaning house as much as we can this midterm election. If your shit is inconsistent with the stuff you're saying now, I don't think in many cases it's a change of tune. I just think you're trying to change with the party. And that may do in some seats, but if there's a seat where we can get someone who stood on business the whole time, vote for that guy. Vote for that guy.
I want to read what the Democratic whip said. Her name is Catherine Clark. She's from Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What she said is that she did agree with Hakeem Jeffries that it is overly broad, right? And it was an attempt by the Republicans to score cheap political points. But she also said, however, it is clear that the status quo is not tenable. Did I say that right, Hector?
Tenable?
Tenable. We should not provide a blank check for military aid to any country that does not comply with U.S. law, interests, and values. The Netanyahu government has failed to meet that standard. I will be voting yes, not because I agree with the entirety of the amendment or the GOP's cynical motivations for its consideration, but because I believe we must change course.
Fair.
Do they not understand that this isn't necessarily a Republican measure? This is brought forth by Thomas Massey, and there's a few things happening here, right? The main thing being is that he don't care anymore because he got primary, so the jig is up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he pretty much is going to say and do whatever it is he wants to say and do for the next few months because of the fact that who gonna check him? He about to be out of office anyways. I mean, that's really all it is. But I just think that it's crazy that they won't call it what it is. They won't call it a genocide.
Yeah. It would
Just
literally
do that
take,
one good time.
I guess, the world internationally doing it, and then they would have to be forced to before they go, okay, well, now we just wanted to be accurate. Get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly why when we talk about Agent Kell, we call it rape. We call it rape, unless I'm citing the specific legal legislation, but it's fucking rape. Those of us know that shit. What did I want to say? If you're not following me, hit that follow button in the top left corner. We are live every Saturday after 3 p.m. CST and randomly throughout the week. Please make sure you're following Erica as well. Upon hitting that follow button, consider becoming a fan club member. For one little stupid silly coin a week, you get access to a couple cool stickers that we'd like to send throughout the chat. And like, it's a coin a week, bro. Trump's economy isn't that bad. So do that after you hit that follow button. Also, make sure you're sharing out the live with your friends and family as well. Give it a good repost and add to your story. Knock out the little rose goals that we have here. A few more of those to go to continue to keep us out on the FYP. Please feel free to click on Erica and I's gift galleries when you click on her name, and then you scroll down to the B2 I think you're in, and then I'm in B5 now, bastards. Feel free to knock out any of the grayed out gifts there. We would greatly appreciate it. Super important that for your favorite creators, if possible, that you clear their gift galleries every single week. You can choose to become a super fan here. If you got it like that, by all means, I prefer subscriptions directly to the Discord and YouTube, specifically because it's cheaper and I get more. So if you want to support me that way, you can. But of course, the best ways to do so is going to be the links in the bio. Please make sure you're following me on all the social media platforms that I'm available on. Working on Twitch and live streaming on Instagram once I get the new computer. But currently I'm on YouTube and Instagram at Hector Talks with 2 R's, exact same username. Join the Discord community. Erica has one that's available as well. It is public. Link is available in the bio. It is free to join. You may choose to subscribe there, but please feel free to join. A lot of the stuff that we say here is the stuff that I'm going to cite in there. And we are going to eventually do another movie night. I know we're supposed to do Sister Act 1 and 2 this week, but that's not happening. I'm going to keep it $1.50 with y'all. Get yourself some merch off the merch shop. Erica and I both have merch shops. We can get some of the things you see in front of you. I have the Make 2 + 2 = 4 again, Kamlo would never. 6,000% the 10 Commandments line, which I'm probably going to remove that one. So check out the shop at hectorshops.com with 2 R's, and Erica's shop, ericaeffect.com, ericaeffect.com. And then finally, direct donations to the links in the bio. If you want to say hi to my cute face, send a message, or just overall support what we're doing here. That's the best ways to do so. Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo are available. Hector Talks with 2 R's on Cash App and Venmo. PayPal, Hector Pal with 2 O's and 2 R's. Erica's available as well at Everything with Erica, and then Everything with Erica9 at gmail.com for the Zellers. If you're over on the Tube side, you may send a super chat or a super sticker. supporter, please feel free to hit the like button on the stream, subscribe, and turn on notification bells as well. Thank you all for your love and support. Trump supporters, request up in the box. You are the demographic of people I'd like to have a conversation with. If you are over on the tube side, and call the number on screen, 737-295-5321. Unless you're Zyle. Then don't bother. If you are a Trump supporter who regrets their vote, this live is a place for you to come up here and express all the reasons that you got up off the MAGA plantation for. And if you are a Trump supporter who does not regret your vote, you can request up as well. I will give you several reasons as to why you're wrong. And by several, I mean several hundred. Smallville, I did think about streaming the Trump address tonight. I'm not doing it. One, it's late as fuck. I don't know why the fuck it's so late. And I have a kind of rule that I've been trying to stick to. That after a certain time, I clock out. I know I do, but I clock out. After a certain time, I got shit to do. I'm gonna get into that. Plus, most of it is going to be him reciting the same shit. I'm just going to get the highlights. According to Caroline Leavitt, he's expected to give some kind of evidence or support the claim of widespread festival fraud and undocumented migrants voting and all this stupid shit. So there's that. It's in 40-something minutes? How the fuck is it in 40-something minutes? I literally got... Hold the fuck up. Hold on. I tagged everyone in the Discord because I saw that it was EST, which I believe is an hour ahead of me. Hold on, let me make sure I'm not. Hold on. EST to CST. Yeah, okay, yeah, EST is an hour ahead. I saw that it was 9 EST. Wait, hold the fuck up. Hold on. EST is exactly an hour ahead of Central Standard Time, so I mixed that up. So 1 hour less. Okay, so I saw those 9 EST. So it would be in a couple minutes. Bro,
You saw those 9 EST.
I read that shit wrong as fuck. I read that shit. Wait, hold on. An hour ahead. Yeah, no. So I was correct. Okay, it's an hour ahead. EST is an hour ahead of CST. So I was correct. So I saw 9 EST. 9 EST, right? That's an hour ahead of CST. So if it's 9 EST, who's streaming? I don't know who's streaming it.
You are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I got plans.
Oh, you always got plans.
Jaden, you'll stream it? Because I've been trying to find out who's going to be streaming it. I'm sorry. I'm not wasting my time streaming it. Not only because the crazy shit he's going to be saying that can get me flagged, but I truly find it to be a waste of time.
He says something. What if he announces his death?
Ma'am.
I, Donald Trump, have decided that due to third-stage syphilis, that I am gonna, just leave this earth. I don't have long for here. I'm gonna go. All right, we're doing it. And I'm signing an executive order, all right, that says that, all right, elective euthanasia is okay. You can do it, guys. Just like we gave you the right to try, we're gonna give you the right to die.
I want to say really quickly, when I tagged the Discord, because I read that
was perfect.
The time zone's wrong, I thought CST was an hour ahead of EST, and I read 9 EST, so I put 10 p.m. CST. I tagged the Discord, that little group I have with over 760 fucking people. You want to tell me why no one, and I mean fucking no one, corrected me?
Maybe because they just knew you were wrong and they know how to tell time.
Correction. Ren did. Ren said it's not 9 p.m. EST. It's even later. Yikes. Oh, well, no, she didn't correct me. She just asked the question. She asked about it. So Ren knew, and she was trying to get me to think again. W's to everyone. W's to Ren. Fuck the rest of y'all. W's to Ren. Fuck the rest of y'all. Because the rest of y'all just saw that shit and y'all didn't say nothing. In the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, you're exempt. Everyone in the Discord, fuck y'all. This is the shit that concerns me, bro. If we can't check each other, who the fuck can, bro? Wild. Shout out.
I'm gonna try to stay up for it, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it, Hector.
I am sleepy.
Nap time.
And I think it's like go to bedtime.
Because one, the live is already oh, fuck off, Lulu. Now Lulu just go put in the chat, hey Hector, ... The speech is at 8 p.m. Oh, thanks. I hate y'all. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Now, thank you so much. Thank you so much. No, so we literally have 39 minutes left. If I'm even live for another 39 minutes because the Trump supporters are scared shitless, I'm not going straight into the thing because I have a cutoff. And my cutoff really should be roughly now, but I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Let's get the likes up to 400K. Jaden, where you at? Because Jaden said he was going to stream it, and I want to make sure they're following you if you're going to stream it. But yeah, so I'm sure there's going to be a ton of creators doing it, but I just don't know who committed to it. Anyone who's bad at time zones? Oh, ha ha ha, that's funny. Yeah, I got that shit dead wrong. Anyone know what time the speech is on exactly in EST time? Well, EST time would be 9, because it's ahead of CST. Because EST an hour ahead of CST, so it would be 9 EST. Either way, it's still in 30-something minutes. It would still be in 30-something minutes. Jaden said he was going to do it, but he disappeared, so I don't have him for confirmation. So there's that. NBS and ABS won't be airing Trump's speech. Who the fuck? Which network will be airing it? We'll see the live streams, I'm sure. I don't think we're going to have any issues finding the live stream, y'all. Y'all going to get to see it. If you want it to be like in a lobby when it starts, then let me see. Hold on. Let me open up my YouTube. AP News. Hold on. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share, if you're in the Discord, I'm going to share the link to the AP News Live in the live chat of my Discord. And then you can just go there because it's already open. You can wait and I guess chat in the comments. But I just shared that link. And that's where you can watch it from the Associated Press in 36 minutes. So if you're in a Discord, just go to the live chat. It's right there. If you're not in the Discord, join the fucking Discord. Link in the bio, the link in the description of the live stream on YouTube, and click on the Discord icon, follow the prompts, and have a good old time. I'm jealous of your Discord now. I don't know why. We don't do much in there. My Discord is very chill. I'm glad. It used to be too active. I hated it. Too many people were adding me for bullshit. I love that it died down, honestly. But we do movie nights. And a lot of times, a lot of the stuff you hear me cite here, I'll put in there. We keep talking about game nights, but I can't commit to it and no one else will. So movie nights is mostly what I host. We're going to do the Sister Act 1 and 2 next week. I told them come back so people can follow him. Okay, great. What's Jaden's at? I got it. I think it's Mr. Jaden LeBron. There you go. What kind of movies? They're all random. Just random. Whatever I feel like, whatever we get the community to vote on. It's typically what we do. Breaking news. Trump announces his resignation. We all wish. Like, I keep telling people this. All the people who are, like, saying Trump's going to resign or get impeached or yeet unalive before 2028. If there's one thing that I believe very strongly is that he is a stubborn bastard. He is a stubborn fucking bastard. He's not going anywhere. He controls all the branches, so there's nothing we can really do there. And he will stay alive just long enough to spite us all the way out. I do not believe for a second that man is going to be passing in the Oval Office. W's in the chat to Wesley for the $5 super chat. I am willing to bet that Trump puts on a fresh diaper every morning and then stays in the same diaper all day. He probably stew in his own ish. He's gross. Yeah. He's a lot of things. W's in the chat to you. Guys, best way to support the platform is going to be links in the bio. Please make sure you check checking out Erica's as well. If you're over on the tube side, super chat or super sticker. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give it 7 to 10 more minutes. 7 to 10 more minutes. We will allow the Trump supporters to call in a request up in the box. And if it doesn't happen in between that time frame, then we done. We done. And y'all can go to Jaden's live or someone else's and wait on the stream. Tell me the highlights. I don't imagine there's going to be any. There is no evidence, guys, of widespread festival fraud. There's none. He's just going to bring up fucking Fulton County and the 3,000. He's going to bring up that stupid video of the person with the suitcase back in 2020 because they consistently keep bringing that up. He's going to bring up, maybe he'll bring up the Heritage Foundation. I dare him to bring up the fucking Heritage Foundation's findings because it took them 40-something years to come up with the less than the 120-something instances. What was it? 90 to 120-something instances?
It wasn't that many. It was 74.
Hold on, let me double check.
It was 74 people who aren't citizens voting, and even less of those who are undocumented, because the majority of the people that did vote were people who had like green cards.
Mm-hmm.
It was a crazy number. See, Dolphin even says 41. We must figure this out. Stat.
Yeah, I'm looking up here.
Hector gave the Republican answer.
Well, I don't know what this one is specifically, because one, I looked into some of the cases, and it would cite instances on the site, but then you look into them, some of them were in states and they have more people included. But here, a close review of the cases in Heritage Database revealed that the organization has documented just 68 total cases of non-citizen voting, going back to the earliest cases documented in the 1980s. That's less than 5% of the cases in their database total. The remaining cases all involve U.S. citizens. For example, the database that they maintain is 1,546 proven instances of fraud, specifically when we're talking about undocumented migrants. That is where we get to the 68 cases. That's correct. I was counting broadly, but specifically with undocumented migrants, yes, 68 cases. And that would be since 1980.
I was wrong. I said 74. So it was 68?
68.
Undocumented people?
Mm-hmm. That is 0.00001%. Let's do this.
Massive problem.
Since 1980. I'm trying to get the specific number of how many people we've had voting overall since 1980. But it's a lot. It's a lot. Maybe I found different numbers. Well, specifically, again, so they're going to, when they say voter, the other word, it's broad. So where we have different numbers, I think, is where it's undocumented, non-citizen, because then you can say undocumented, which would not include, like Erica said, like people with visas, because they would be documented, but they're still not authorized to vote in our elections. So I think that's where the numbers differ.
I'm going to drop. I want to let you know what I just did, and I'm glad I caught myself. I almost pulled a swan. Do you know what that means, Hector? I almost fell asleep on the live with my mic not muted. That would have been embarrassing.
Go to bed, Erica. Go take
I'm going to sleep. Night, friend. Have a good one. Bye.
Guys, make sure you're following Erica on her way out. Please follow her. Please follow her. I've done that one time, and this was early last year or late 2024. I've fallen asleep on a live. It wasn't like a political live either. It was like a friendly live where I was just joshing around with some mutuals, and I fell asleep with my mic unmuted. I don't snore though, so didn't have to worry about that. Y'all hear snoring on people's lives? That's crazy. Y'all out here snoring on people's lives? That's wild. If it's that bad, just put the phone down, dog. Just put the phone down. Oh, thank you, Shelby. I did not see this. Thank you for the boost to the server. Shout out to Shelby. Shout out to Shelby. And multiple times on the game, everyone snores. Okay, so I don't do like a hog snore. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much. Do you know Carbon? Yeah, I know Carbon. Honestly, I don't know what the fuck happened to Carbon. I guess life got caught up with him. He got busy and stuff. Carbon was one of the goats, man. Carbon was one of the goats. Very few people can argue LGBTQ issues the way he did. Carbon was the goat. I miss Carbon. I miss Carbon. I miss Dan Malik. And I miss, well, Amanda says things still goes live, but she just goes live at very weird times. And I'm never able to watch her. Hog is wicked. I'm just saying. Like, no, I don't snore like that. I breathe heavier because of my asthma and stuff, but y'all out here, y'all need to get that strip. What's the name of the strip that you put on your nose to help open up your nostrils, to help you breathe? So y'all don't be disturbing your partners at night. Jesus, man. Jeebus. He was just debating this past weekend. See, I've mostly seen him panel. Like, I've seen him still go into, like, MAGA lives and go back and forth with them, but I haven't seen him host a live in a minute. Breathe right. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Very much that. Guys, almost at 400,000 likes. Keep double tapping the screen. Let's get there really quickly. And I guess we're just going to send somebody a raid with the people that we have left. But double tap that screen. Let's get the likes up to 400K. And we're probably going to call it a wrap because the Trump supporters have lost their testicular fortitude. Which, you know, if you guys were serving in the military and stuff, you can go get a shot. Because Pete Hegseth wants you guys in your prime time peak potential now. Mandating that you get checked for your T levels after 30 years old. So, you know, maybe after you go get yourself the jab, the T jab, maybe then you guys will request up or call in some more. I've been noticing that it's getting a little bit harder for them to defend his recent actions, specifically after the war in Iran's ramped back up again. The MOU was all the rave. All they could talk about the MOU. Only Trump could do it. Blah, blah, blah. And then what happened? We're bombing them again. And people got real quiet. Which, I mean, is only proof of the fact that we're right again. Except in this situation, I don't like being right so much. I really don't. It doesn't help us. That federally paid for gender affirming care. That is correct. That is correct. Can't believe I just struggled to remember Breathe Right. I can't believe I did. I've never used it or anything, but I'm like, I remember all those commercials. Couldn't get it for the life of me. May I redeem myself? Redeem yourself or what? What are you talking about, Ren? What are you talking about? He's back every now and then, just not hosting? That's what I thought. But yeah, Carbon is great. Who's some other creators we don't really see go live anymore? Who's some other creators? Well, I may not fuck with some of them, but who are these other creators we haven't seen in a minute? I'm curious. I think I played this one for you guys already. There is something I wanted to show y'all, but I think it was on Instagram. Let me pull it up really quickly while y'all are tapping the screen slowly. I think, yeah, it's on Instagram. Give me a second to pull it up for y'all. Post. Oh, that's what I wanted to comment on. Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. And this is going to be the point in time where some of you guys may unfollow me, and I welcome it. So, she was at some event recently, and she was speaking on the primary that she lost here in Texas to James Tallarico. And she said something that pissed off a few people. She said that it was a racist race. The very first thing I saw on my FYP opening up TikTok the day after was some white liberal saying, bold, you know, the TikTok font and the colors red, Jasmine Crockett called James Tallarico a racist. I'm like, oh, Okay. So I go and I watch the clip, and I was like, oh, wow, I never heard Jasmine Crockett call James Tallarico a racist. Why did he say that? Why would he do that? Why would he lie? Why would he lie? Why is it that these white liberals just can't stop fucking lying on black women? Why is that? She spoke about the race, and she said it was a racist race. And if anyone knows the conversation surrounding Jasmine Crockett's bid in end of 2025, early 2026, we would confirm that it's a racist race. We saw the ads put out against her, the rhetoric online. I went back and forth with these people on the app. It absolutely was a racist race. Let's be clear. Any race involving a black candidate is going to have racism in it. We can point to every single person from the local level all the way up to the top. Kamala Harris, President of the United States, Obama. Racism is there. So what I find super fascinating about all the people that were up in their fucking panties about that goddamn comment was that it was true. It was true. It's not her hyper-focusing on the racism of the race. It's just her pointing out the obvious, so the fact that it was there. If you weren't a racist who voted for her, or if you weren't a racist who voted for James Tallarico, then you don't have a fucking issue with the comments. Okay, and the other argument that I've heard a few people make was that, oh, her blaming everything on racism, which is not what she did, her blaming everything on racism and negating the things that she could have done better in the race. That would be true, again, if she blamed everything on racism, in which case I'm always going to be the person that says you absolutely need to reflect. Every single candidate has a responsibility to reflect on the things they could have done better in their campaign race. Absolutely, 6,000%. I don't think Jasmine Crockett has shown any signs of her not doing that. In fact, she's highlighted the things that the Republican Party specifically, or even the Democratic Party did, to basically make it more difficult for her to win. It's a whole nother conversation about, I guess, interviews or whatnot you think she could have done better. But that's something we can talk about every freaking time someone loses. Don't care if you're black, don't care if you're white, don't care if you're a man, don't care if you're a woman. When she calls it a racist race, that's exactly what it was. In so many ways. And if you're going to contest that, then you have some deconstructing to do. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I really don't. Hector, I do have something that happened here with ICE that I'm certain nobody is talking about. Was there another, misconduct? What was it? What was it, Ashley? What was it, Ashley? Why did 263 of y'all just stop fucking tapping altogether? Literally for the last 2 minutes, the likes have been at 391. What are we doing? I need to see y'all double tap that screen. Let's get up to 400 so we can get up out the paint. I'm not staying live long enough for the thing, by the way, if that's what y'all are doing. If y'all aren't tapping the screen so I can stay live, that's not going to happen. I will end this shit right now. No, I just want to get the likes up to 400K because I got to go. They were doing a traffic stop. He ran away and got hit by a semi-truck. Erica sent me that. Hold on. Let me go over that story. Erica did send me that. Let me find it. Oh, really quickly. Shit. Erica meant to go over this earlier. So, apparently, there was a Florida write-in congressional candidate. His name is William Upham. He was arrested after saying Trump must be killed. Florida congressional write-in candidate and former U.S. Marine William Upham was arrested Wednesday after posting a video calling President Donald Trump the Antichrist and saying the president must be killed. Upham was booked into the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office jail, on a U.S. Marshal hold before being released Thursday, according to jail records. The inmate log lists the charge comments as threats against the president. Upham, a Republican write-in candidate for Florida's 5th Congressional District, who describes himself on X as a prosecutor running to fix a broken political system, opens the nearly 7-minute video by saying he entered the race to restore bipartisanship, return power to the working class, and fix our broken political system. Well, god damn it. If he didn't get himself arrested, that's something we should get behind. Is the video available? I would play it. I'll see if I can find it. The tone quickly shifts, however, as Upham says he has come to believe the country is broken and that America is engaged in a spiritual battle. We are led by a president who is the enemy of God, Upham says before citing Bible passages and discussing the oath he took as a Marine officer to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. He then claims there is no doubt Trump is the Antichrist. He is a false Messiah, and he is your enemy, and he must be killed. Wow. TikTok. While I do believe Donald Trump is an enemy of the United States Constitution, and while I do believe he definitely reflects the Antichrist in so many different ways, I do not advocate for political violence against the President of the United States. I think anyone who does should be looked into. And I'll just save the rest of my opinions offline. Later in the video, Upham urges viewers to question whether they are worshiping a false idol before concluding President Trump is the Antichrist and he will be killed and sent to hell. God will prevail against evil. The U.S. Marine Corps quickly condemned Upham, saying he was medically discharged May 30th, 2025. Usual statement from the Marine Corps. These are in violation of the oath. They don't go along with the values, blah, 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 blah. The U.S. Secret Service also acknowledged the comments in a statement to Fox News Digital, blah, 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 blah. Navy Secretary Hung Kao, I don't know how to pronounce that. He condemned the remarks, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Damn. Pickle's also streaming the speech. We're going to Jaden's. Jaden's will be streaming it too. We're going to Jaden's. Woo! Whatever happened to the soldier had his arm broken in the Capitol? That's a great question. I'm actually not sure. It just seems like wasn't the guy, the second guy who tried to take Trump out in 2025, or was it 2024? I think it was 2024. Wasn't he in Florida too, a Floridian? What was his name again? Wasn't he a Floridian too? Give me a second. Jaden just said he got banned? What? Bruh. What the fuck happened? It's always something. I'm trying to remember his name. He was sentenced recently, if I'm not mistaken. He was sentenced this year. Let's see. Let me get his name. Because I could have sworn he was a Floridian, but I could be wrong. It's in Florida. Yes, Ryan Wesley Ralph. That was, yeah, it was in Florida. That is correct. Trump was at his golf club in Palm Beach. Yeah, I got it right. Let me get his name again. Ryan Wesley Ralph. Ryan Wesley Ralph. He was another Floridian Republican who voted for Trump before, who no longer liked him. I find it interesting how many Republicans keep trying to take the president out. I find it fascinating how many Republicans keep trying to take the president out. With that being said, shout out to every last one of you for getting the likes up to 400,000. I'm fucking leaving. Who are we going to raid on the TikTok side? I mean, excuse me, the YouTube side. Let's see who we can raid here. I guess we can't do Jaden, or couldn't do him on YouTube anyway. YouTube, you may go to Pickles if he opened up his live to me. Yes, he did. Friendly reminder, if you're in the Discord, I put the link to the Associated Press live stream, which should be starting in 15 minutes. Trump's going to address the nation and lie as much as he does. But YouTube, I made you guys redirect to Pickles. You guys are going straight to Pickles Live. Pickles GG's. Please make sure when you get there, you say Hector Raid. I appreciate every last one of you for being here. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscriptions, your super chats, super stickers, and memberships. We'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm gonna be co-hosting with Facts Still Matter tomorrow night. We'll see. I gotta text him back. We'll do our live earlier, and then we probably are going to be doing that later. So I will catch y'all on the. Just Monty said she would also have it. Is she streaming? I don't know all the people who are streaming this shit.